YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, X, you name it. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. Somebody said, where is he? I'm here. Bam! That's right. Here I am. So now it's time to get busy, but I first got to make sure you can hear me before I get busy. So if you can hear me, let me know. Make sure all of our gadgets are working just fine, just peachy. And I'm assuming you can see me. And I notice over here on my other laptop, while I watch myself from my other channel, I haven't started yet. Oh, there it is. Now it's starting. Oh, shoot, I got a commercial, y'all. Oh, well, I'm moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. That's right, man. I'm moving up, and it's a Bernie Moreno commercial. Yeah, we need us another senator right up in this funky joint of Ohio. I want it to be a land just sweep. That's what I want. I want us to just mop the floor with the Democrats. But until then, I'm going to mop the floor with them during my live stream. So let me go ahead and get busy. Somebody said, love that show. Oh, it was great, wasn't it? The Jeffersons. That was the Jeffersons, right? I think it was. Real Gorilla. Real Gorilla. Fish don't fry in the kitchen. Beans don't burn on the grill. Took a whole lot of trying just get up that hill. Now we up in the big keys, getting our turn at the back. Yeah, man. As long as we live, it's me and you, baby, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, we're moving on up, moving on up. Yeah, you see how I did that mix? That was Master Mix. Now, welcome to the show. If you're not familiar with who I am, I'm Kevin from Kevin's Corner. That's right, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. And before I do that, I want y'all to check out Kevin's Corner store. Now, there's a phone number on this little clip right here, 330-974-4607. That is a additional phone or device to where if you text MAGA to that number, I'll lock you in. And then, of course, if something strange happens to me, I'll be able to let y'all know that, hey, I'm good to go and I'm on a different platform or whatever, because you never know. You wake up and whole channel could be gone or demonetized, or maybe even like they slipped up and let me bloom a couple weeks ago. I was booming, y'all. Yeah, I still about that video. This cracked 2 million views is still climbing. I think it's at like maybe 2.5 or maybe 2.6 million views, which I am touched. And my numbers have gone up to 199. It appears they don't want me to crack 200,000, whereas in the past I was way above that. I was 211 and climbing until I made them mad. So I don't know what I said or didn't say to make them get off my back for about a week, but now they're back on it. So it takes all of us to continue to push forward. So I rely on you guys to spread the word and share my videos. This one's going to be a fun one. We got a lot of material to cover, so we're going to get right into it. Also, don't forget, if you want to check out some new merch right there, that's right. We got our fight. That's right. Shirts, and we got us a cool little fight flag. I like that one right there. So you can always check that out. Now, let's go ahead and get busy. Oh, and if you want to donate to the channel, you can. I have a PayPal and a CASHAPP below. Now, I like this intro.
I'm asking every American to recommit, to make America what it is, great again.
That's right. So guys, Creepy is alive. Did y'all know that? Yeah, there was some, a lot of question about what happened to Joe Biden. Last we saw him, he was going up the steps looking like some type of a zombie, perhaps a mummy, Frankenstein. We don't know. Yeah, knees was bucking. You heard him knocking. Barely could stand up. But there was rumors out there that maybe he had kicked the bucket, which I don't think that's what they want to happen right now, especially since they're now trying to all surround Chameleon Cackling Harris. I don't know if they're ready for her to take on that double load of campaigning and being the president at this moment. Plus, it'll be a bad look if she becomes the president for like 2 or 3 months and then get the floor mopped, with her in November. I don't think that'd be a good look. Now, maybe just so they can say, look, we had the first black female president, because that's what they like. The Democrats like that stuff, which we're going to be talking about tonight, because that's their hope. Yeah, they are all excited right about now. Now, just a couple weeks ago, they were all singing "Woe Is Me," getting on television, singing old Negro spirituals, fake crapper. Soon I will be done with the troubles of Creepy Sleepy. They had to get Creepy Sleepy out of there. And now that he's out of there, they're right back to the propaganda. There you go. Yep. They went ahead and shield for Creepy Sleepy. All that time gave him a makeover. They know he was dusty. They know he was crusty, but they gave him a makeover. You know, cleaned him up, lied about stuff, covered up stuff, didn't show their people a lot of stuff until it got out of control. And everybody was like, what the? This chick ugly. I mean, here y'all are airbrushing and stuff. Got me sitting back like, dude, I got me a hot date tonight, man. You should see her, man. Then you show up without no makeup. And now we were all able to see just how ugly Joe Biden was. Now, we saw it. We saw through it. Yeah. But a lot of their voters didn't. And I think, honestly, the Democrats knew that train wreck was about to happen. So I think they might have stuck Joe out there on purpose to get the result that they have right now. However, there has been a glitch thrown in their diabolical scheme, which is chameleon cackling Harris. The backup QB sucks. Now, some of the Democrats have already jumped on board, but there are some key players that's still holding back their anointing. They're like, we're not going to lay hands on you yet, chameleon, because we don't know if you can beat Donald Trump. And that is the overall goal and objective for the Democrats. It's not democracy. Yeah, I don't care what they tell you. It ain't democracy. It ain't fighting for the soul of the country. It is fighting for the power of the Democrat Party. So with that being said, let's check out Creepy Sleepy's return and see what he had to say. Remember he said this, y'all?
We're going to stand up for our Constitution and save our democracy.
Yeah, that's what he was going to do. I remember he said this.
Folks, you probably noticed there's a lot of speculation lately.
Yeah.
What's Joe Biden going to do?
Good question.
Is he going to stay in the race? Is he going to drop out? Here's mine. I am running and we're going to win.
Well.
Despite reading from a teleprompter in the Oval Office with no press surrounding him, Joe Biden still struggled to form coherent sentences.
Now, first of all, why does Joe Biden look like he got a second-degree burn on his face? What is going on with that? Yeah, he's what is he, pink? I don't understand. Somebody done tanned him up or airbrushed him up, trying to make him look a little bit more alive, perhaps. We want to see the real Joe. I want to see the pale face right there. That's what I want to see. I want to see the skin follicles falling off. I want to see all of that. But they done went and shined him up, put a little bit of pink fleshy look on his face, and gave him a little comb over. And stuck him out there with the hands. But at least he got something to do with the hands. So he got him on the desk instead of up here. Yeah, no more, all that stuff. So he got him on the desk. Let's hear what he got to say. Now, remember, guys, he knew this was coming. And I would think that he got a chance to read over his lines. But according to the commentator, he flubbed it up. Well, let's see how bad.
The truth.
The tooth.
Sacred cause of the...
Right off grip. The tooth. What tooth? He got mixed up between tooth and truth. The tooth. So here we go for another roller coaster. Another creepy, sleepy roller coaster.
This country is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause cherish it so much.
Cherish it so much. This is not a good start. This is not a good start in your departure. Now, we very well may be looking at the last speech that Creepy Sleepy gives. I think they're at that point where they're going to put this man in someone's closet and handle everything remote. I don't think they're going to stick him back out there because he is declining so rapidly right now. You can tell in the way he looks. There was rumors that he was taken away, not because of COVID, but because of a more serious ailment. Some even speculate maybe a stroke, a slight stroke. But good grief, you can't continue to stick this dude out there and try to make us think that the 25th Amendment shouldn't be implemented like pronto. Because even though he has agreed not to run a second term, he's still the president until November. So what if something serious happens Then what? Now they done already made him step down. So at this point, he might as well go ahead and rock the 25th Amendment and just get out. Stick Chameleon up there so we can get a sample of what she's going to be like, okay? And then take it right from under her nose. Yeah, I want her to get a taste because, see, she's one of them power-hungry people. She's one of them people that will walk all over anybody just to get into a certain position. Or even not walk over somebody, but lay down for somebody too. Yeah, that chick would do anything for power. And so it would be great to give her just a taste. Have it right out in front of her nose. Yeah, let her get a sniff and a whiff and then snatch it out from under her. Yeah, so she can be boo-hooing and crying, talking about it's because I'm black and I'm a woman and it was racism and sexism. So let's continue.
Cause of American democracy itself. Must unite to protect it.
Running sentences together. Cause of American democracy itself. It's protect it. It's getting harder and harder to make out Joe Biden. Now the words are all just blending together. He's a mess.
And from the outset, Joe Biden made humiliating error after error.
Like what?
Ben Franklin was asked as he emerged from the convention going on whether the founders have given America a monarchy or republic. Franklin's response was the republic, if you can keep it.
And again,
they should have just had him come out and say, thanks everybody. That's it. Can't run no more. Sick. Sitting down, giving it to Kamala. Thanks everybody. And walk off. Why are they giving him lots of words? We've seen what he does to words. He goes in and gets that machete out and go to hacking on words. So don't give him words. Give him some grunts, a couple coughs, things like that. Let him yell a little bit. 4 more years. And then get him out of there. But nope, they try to give him some historical references and he hacks it up. I don't even know what he's talking about. I'm sitting there trying to find it in the history book like, okay, wait, he's talking about Buffalo Bill? Wait, no, wait. Billy the Kid? Hold on, who is he referring to again?
You make that choice. Remember the words of Benjamin Franklin hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office. Alongside the busts of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked as he emerged from the convention going on whether the founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was
no fluidity. He's not smooth with it. It's extremely obvious this man is full-blown concentrating. He's like, Franklin Roosevelt said. Usually you try to make it seem natural when you're reading off of the teleprompter. Franklin Roosevelt said that back in 1980, whatever. But this guy is stiff. His eyes are wide open and he is concentrating and still messing this up. And I would go so far as to think that he probably practiced it several times before even going live and still hacking this up. Now, he's at that point where if he wasn't so evil, I might even have sympathy for him. I might have a bit of empathy for him. But he's so infested with evil. It's hard for me to muster it up. I'm just not that fake. I'm not the guy to come out talking about, oh, that's so sad. I feel so busted up on the inside. Nope. I just won't say anything if that's the case. Don't bring your little ugly baby up to me talking about, ain't my baby cute? And expect me to be like, oh, look at him. He is so cute. If you got an ugly baby, you don't want to ask me. I just be like, oh, shoot, look at that. Oh, he precious. He's precious. All life, all babies are precious. You know that, right? Yeah. So don't ask me. I can't be fake. And with this dude, man, I'm like, you done wreaked havoc on your way out. But he should have people in his life that is compassionate, does have empathy and love for him. Right now, Jill should be rushing out there, grabbing him and saying, come on, Joe, let's go. Come on, it's over. It's over. Look, why put you through this for another 3 or 4 months or whatever? 3 months. Why even do this? Why allow you to go out like a sucker? Even though he was going to go out like a sucker anyway, whether he's in his right mind or not. Because this dude have destroyed America. So either way, he's going out like a sucker. But from a family standpoint, I wouldn't want to see my father go out like this. That's the moment where you just say, come on, that's it. That's it. We can't. I could see if he would have tried to stay in, But at this point, he's just going through the motions. So somebody should step in and say, shh, give him the hug. Just like those referees in boxing matches where the one boxer just won't go down and they beat him head all over the place. He can't block nothing no more. He's swinging wild and the ref just step in and hug him. It's it. That's it, man. It's it. It's over. It's over. Still punching while the ref hugging him. Still punching. But the ref has compassion and just says, man, I see you struggling. It's over. Somebody should do that for this guy right here. Look at him.
The republic, if you can keep it. The republic, if you can keep it.
And the teleprompter won again.
We've come so far since my inauguration. On that day I told you, as I stood in that winter, we stood in a winter of peril and a winter of possibilities. Peril and possibilities.
Many were expecting the president to outline his reasons as to why he is dropping out of the race.
Yeah, because that should be the first thing he addressed. Now, you know he can't come out and say, I'm dropping out because Barack and Nancy and Crying Chuck and Hawker Jeffries came to me and told me you better drop out. And our attempted assassination didn't work. So now I have to drop out. He can't say that. He can't say that, right? So he has to give some other excuse. The other excuse he probably could have gave or should have gave is, I'm broke down mentity. I actually do have a cognitive decline, and this is what it is. Therefore, I cannot go further. But see, they want us to continue playing along with this, charade right here. Just this facade. They want us to continue pretending that this guy's okay. Try to maybe take him out with his dignity and not really let everybody know that we had this guy operating in the capacity of the president, knowing he was in mental decline. So instead of doing that, what do? They try to spin it and make it seem as if this guy's dropping out because he's trying to save democracy. It's for the greater good. It's for the people. The people. Now, I'm not buying that because now you're really tampering with democracy. You have no other excuse of dropping out except for, I'm sick. That's it. Because the people have voted for you. So if you don't come out talking about, I'm sick, can't go no more, then I don't want to hear any other excuses. Don't be feeding me some bull crap talking about some democracy.
And provide insight into his health battles. But he did none of that. Instead, saying he's withdrawing to pass the torch on to the next generation.
Oh, that's why.
My leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy.
As he tears that mug to pieces, as his whole party just shredded democracy. They've been shredding democracy for years. Years. When Trump got in office, they started shredding it then. Russian agent, Russia. You know what we should do? Just impeach him. Let's impeach him. Yeah, well, y'all want to do it again? Y'all want to do it again? Let's do it twice. Let's do it twice for democracy. Oh, what? He might run again? Oh, then we got to come up with some concoction charges. There you go. Not one. That's not enough. 2. Nah, that's still not enough. How about 3? Just to make sure they stick, let's go with 4. There we go. Let's go with 4 charges. Let's bend and contort the justice system into a pretzel just specially designed for Donald Trump. Yeah, and they're talking about democracy. Then let's go ahead and sabotage his primaries. Nobody was able to run against Joe. Stick him out there in this condition, and then when he is not salvageable, then let's go ahead and throw him to the curb and install another puppet for democracy.
That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
How can you say that, Creepy? Because just a week or so ago, you were saying, I'm the only one that can beat Donald Trump. I'll beat him like I did in 2020. All of that crap you was talking. Now all of a sudden you got a revelation? And I know what that revelation came in the form of. That's right. Hello, Joseph. I'm the ghost of Nasty Pelosi. And when you awake, you better drop out of this race, or else I'm going to become a nightmare for you, Joseph. Now, I'm going to go ahead and scratch your eyes with this monkey paw on the way out. So when Joe woke up, he was like, I've been touched by the monkey paw. So it's time for me to bounce. between her and dang on Barack and the rest of them. They went and persuaded Joe to drop out and pressured Joe for democracy. Remember, they were all saying it's his choice. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? And it makes me so mad to see Democrats get away with such lies, propaganda, and deceit. I was telling a friend of mine who's a Christian, I said, if you ever want a living manifestation of how the devil and all his demons operate, just observe the Democrat Party. Yeah, it's like that is the devil's operation manifested in the flesh. All of the backdoor deals, all of the connections, all of the creating fake, narratives, the lies, the deceit. They are one filthy group of people in that party. And if you're not filthy, usually you get out of the party. The ones that have any integrity at some point wake up and say, man, I can't roll with these people. I can't roll. That's why it kills me when me as a black person and a Christian, I have double duty. I'm a part of two groups of people who are the biggest victims of the Democrat Party's manipulation. I'm going, man, I got to convince you as a black man and a black woman to leave these folks alone. And many, many Christians just get blindsided and go to pieces as soon as you hear racism. And I'm saying, wow, you're overlooking all their raggedy policies. The fact that they want to shout at the kids. They don't know what a woman is. I mean, the stuff that they promote in their policies, if you are a Christian, your discernment has to be shattered to not realize that these folks are evil. If we ever, as we move towards the end time, these folks right here, I guarantee will have a huge part to play in that. If America ever collapses, these folks right here would have a huge play in that. Whoever put together that hit that missed, they were willing to risk our whole country going into civil war for power. If I can't have it, nobody can. Just like the devil. God made these humans, I'm going to mess them all up. Dang on it. If I can't have God, nobody can. So I'm going to tear up his creation. So here you have the Democrats operating in such a deceitful way, then stick him out here and then force this dude to come up with some noble reason. And I'm saying, that's nothing but a big fat lie. Why don't you just be honest? You got muscled. They overthrew democracy.
That's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now.
He said he believes he deserves a second term, but is putting saving America's democracy first.
Such hypocrisy. Yeah, democracy is hypocrisy. That's what it is. So, he said he deserves a second term. Then why not take it? Yeah, sometimes I think that Joe might have thrown Kamala out there as a support of her just to see her lose. And you know what? They don't think I can win. I'm going to show them. You show them, Joey. You're going to get the last laugh, just like Pop, Corn Pop. Yeah, you might make me step down, but not before I wrap chameleon around your neck. So he threw chameleon out there now, and they got to juggle her. So yeah, he's stepping down for some young folks to step up and stuff like that.
When you elect me to this office, I promise to always level with you.
Then you might want to level with us first off by saying, first of all, I didn't get 81 million votes. That's the first thing I want to be honest about. Secondly, I never marched with civil rights, and I didn't drive a semi-truck, and I didn't even go to a black church ever. And I'm not Jewish. I'm not Puerto Rican. My uncle didn't get eaten by cannibals. You might want to start off with some of the little lies first. Work your way all the way up to the big stuff. Like I was installed in the presidency as a puppet. Why don't you start with those things? But you're talking about I want to level with you.
To tell you the truth.
The truth.
The truth.
The truth.
The sacred cause of this country is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause cherish it so much the cause of American democracy itself.
Well, what it ain't larger than is the Democrats' agenda. The Democrat Party is above all. Yeah, above all. They don't care nothing about y'all because they're above all. Okay. And if you happen to catch a couple crumbs that fall from their table, great. If not, though, that's cool too.
Must unite to protect it. In recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor.
I thought you said you was going to be straight with us, Joe. Yeah, it's become clear to you that Nancy Pelosi and the rest of them were no longer going to take no for an answer. They didn't care nothing about Jill talking about, no, Joe, stand in it. It became greater than her. Yeah, no Hunter trying to protect you. I mean, they launched a coordinated attack to force this guy to step down. The donors, they even had folks protesting, little campaign going. They did all kind of stuff to put this man in a position to where his back was up against the wall and he had to say, all right, fine. Would you just at least allow me to go out as a hero? Well, maybe, Joe, but you did make us wait a little too long, so I'll think about it. So now here they are, trying to pretend that this guy is a noble person. He did this for the greater good, for democracy.
I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy.
And I can't stand when they say that, as they trash the republic. But what's killing me is if you ask them right now, so what is your vision for your second term? What were some of the details within the policies that you so-called passed your first term? Break it down to us. How did you come to these conclusions? What made you decide to go with this deal or that deal or this bill or that bill? What made you do it, Joe? Oh, I don't even remember. They brought some papers to me and stuck them in front of me and told me this is what to go out and talk about. That's how I came to those conclusions. So the reality is Joe's not running anything. Do you think that man wrote this speech? He had no influence on this speech. I guarantee you, once he agreed to step down and said, don't worry, we'll take care of everything from here. We'll write your little speech, do that. We'll write your little letter. You ain't even got to sign it. I looked at the signature. I'm going, whose signature is this? So we'll do everything from this point on, Joe. All you do is go out and do your last press conference and read this if you can. So we may never see Joe read from a teleprompter again.
That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation. There is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now.
Is it really?
Joe Biden was also blasted for gaslighting the nation, saying the US is not in any wars anywhere in the world. Commentators clapped back, highlighting the US is in several proxy wars.
Wow. So Yemen, Syria, what was the other one? Now, wait, I don't understand. And Somalia. Whoa. Now, I can't understand. Currently in 4 active legal wars that were approved by Congress. 2 different wars in Yemen. Okay, did y'all know that? One in Syria and then one in Somalia. And Joe's out there touting record like he's been doing forever, saying that I've never done this and I created the most jobs and no president has accomplished more than me and I got the most votes and all these lies. But what strikes me as strange is that Joe didn't write his speech. So someone who's writing his speech is writing in those lies. I mean, I don't know if Joe is the liar or the speechwriter is the liar. I mean, because it's obvious that he's reading it straight off of the teleprompter. So somebody done wrote in some lies and hoping that nobody would catch it.
Proxy wars.
I'll keep working to ensure America remains strong, secure, and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin.
That man didn't go off script. See, that was right on script. His eyes never even blinked. That dude was fixated on what he was reading. That means whoever wrote that into the teleprompter was like, you know what, this is a lie, but hey, it's Joe. Who knows? We got enough dumb voters out there that would believe it. They're not going to fact check it. Yeah, they're casual political viewers or whatever. You know, they're just dedicated more to the Democrats than they are the country. So let's just put it in there and see what happens. I'm pretty sure the folks in the media now who's going to praise Joe, because just a couple weeks ago they were trashing this guy, trashing him. But now that he submitted, they've gotten their new orders. Let him go out like a hero. No longer be talking about his speech and some of the words he mess up. Don't do that no more. That was only to get him to step down. Now we want to flip and go into he's a hero mode. So no more of the trashing him. He's a hero. And then start to focus your attention on the cackler. So don't check these lies no more. We don't want you guys checking these lies.
Taking over Ukraine, doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history. I'll keep doing the same for allies in the Pacific.
And in another lie, Joe Biden tried to spin his horrendous record on illegal
immigration.
He didn't.
The crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office.
Yep. Somebody's writing lies. Who's writing them lies? That's what I want to know. So, Democrats. See, once again, you know, I look at them through a spiritual eye and a natural eye. Both of them, they lie. No matter what eyes you're looking at them through. Whatever eye, they lie. It don't matter. Yeah. These folks right here are just full of deceit. These are the same people who were coming out to the podium talking about the president was very absolute when he said that he's going to run. He's not stepping down. And 1 week or two later, well, you know what? He did what he felt was best. And what happened to all those people at those rallies cheering him on? Said, that's right, Joe, don't go. Don't let these folks muscle you. What happened to Creepy Sleepy calling them the elites, trying to make him step down? Looks like the elites won the defeat. There it is. They gave him a beat down, told him sit down. And so now here he is, all shined up, giving his resignation speech, basically.
I've kept my commitment to appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States.
baby.
Commentators on X launched on this lie, slamming the president for insulting the intelligence of the American people.
Oh, yes.
The president also boasted about improving the economy during his term.
Oh, another
Today, we have
lie.
the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record. Wages are up.
Now, see, guys, these lies are not for Joe Biden. At this point, these lies are for Kamala Harris because, see, she's attached to this raggedy record. Now, she got to pick up the lies. It's like a lying relay. See, right now, Joe's coming around the last bend with his walker. Hold on, Kamala, I'm coming. And she's down there with her hand out like this. Pass the lies on to me, Joe. I don't want to have to go out there and look the American people in the face and explain why we have caused our country to plummet in so many areas. So give me one last lie to go. Throw out some stuff to where our voters would think we're doing great. And I'm going to take this greatness and run with it. But really all she's doing is taking the lies and running with them. That's it. So he's dropping these lies out there so she can pick them up and start running with them.
Inflation continues to come down.
But commentators slammed this as a complete lie, as many Americans battle with the cost of living crisis.
And you know the sad part is their voters, many of them would never know that those were lies. They'll never know it. Yeah, they're not going to go back and check it. They're going to go see the Democrats are doing great. So let's go ahead and continue. No, I'm not going to look at my own bank account. I'm not going to look at my house payment. I'm not going to check their lies with reality. I'm not going to check their lies with the stuff that I look and see every day and feel and all of that stuff. I'm not going to check them with that. I'm just going to go ahead and let them stop right here in my head and keep them right there in a special Democrat box. There you go. And I'm just going to assume they're working on this stuff. I'm sure he'll get the prices down at some point. Yeah, these folks, man. These last 8 years have shown me how weak human minds are. It's fascinating to see so many people succumb to this type of bullshit. But not Trump. Listen to this.
Oh, Biden's running. I wouldn't say his debate performance was one of the best, right? Do you agree? That's where it all started with the debate.
Oh, yes.
The downfall started that night with the debate. The debate was like, that was a rough debate. He said, yo, I had a bad night. No, he had a bad night. He had a bad everything. He had a very bad night. But it started really with the debate. It was all, the game was up. They say the jig was up.
Curtains was pulled back. Sheets was snatched off. Pants was pulled down. Yeah, you can't recover from your pants getting pulled down. Yeah, man, everybody see your dirty drawers. I'll never forget when I first moved back here to take care of my dad. I was in there asleep. He gonna come and, wake me up. Gonna give me a speech. Come in there. I hear the door open. I know he's there. I'm just gonna keep the eyes closed, hoping he'll just go away. But not old man Teddy. That wasn't his style. So he just standing up there right in front of me. Now, when somebody's there, and I'm sitting there with my eyes closed like, all right, I'm going to make him go ahead and either wake me up or say what he wants to say, because I'm not going to open my eyes. And he finally said, hey, man. I'm like, yeah, what's up, Dad? Look here. You're going to have to help out with the dishes and this and this and that. And all of a sudden, in the middle of him giving me a lecture, his pants fell all the way down to his ankles. It was over at that point. Yeah, I mean, his pants came down so fast, it looked like somebody pulled him down. They didn't even slide down slow. It was like somebody invisible just said, and he knew it too. He's like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, let me get my pants. And then try to get back in character. Okay, now look here, man, with a smile on his face, because he knew it was over. I'm like, Dad, it's over, man. You're going to have to go and reset so I can take you seriously. Okay, maybe tomorrow you come back in and, you got to come back and reset your face. Because right now it's over with. Every time I see you with your pants at your ankles. It was so funny. Boy, I tell you, I'll never forget that, man. Look here, man, you're going to have to start helping them. Oh, shoot, hold on. Let me get I'm like, Dad, how does one's pants fall down that quick? You didn't feel him starting to slide? No, he didn't, because it seemed like somebody snatched him down. It was so funny. Oh, boy, he had little boxers on. I busted out laughing, man. But anyway, that's what happened to Joe. But the sad part is nobody pulled his pants back up. He's been walking around butt naked for a while now to people who got eyes to see. But now here's Trump, because he called it out. Yeah, he hit it right. He hit it right on the head.
And it was indeed up, but it started with that, and then it only got worse. And we were leading him by 11, 12, 14, 15 points. And then he decides to get out because the bosses said, we're not going to have you. He didn't want to get out. But
see, Trump's calling it out, and I like it. Now, see, the fake news, they'll say he's lying about that. When in reality, we all know it. There's no evidence. No, you know what? He made false claims that Joe was, like they said in that one newspaper during my show, I forget which one it was, but they had the nerve to say when Trump was caught on that video talking about how Biden was going to drop out and Kamala was going to be up, they were like, he's false claims. He's dropping out false claims that Biden is going to drop out. And that's exactly what happened. We all saw the writing on the wall. And we all know why Joe dropped out. And Trump's just being candid about it. But they would say that this is one of his million lies. That's what they'll say. See, that's how the media operates. When deep down, they all know that's exactly what happened.
They told him, you're getting out. They said, you're getting out. You're getting killed in the polls. You can't win. You saw that. You can't win.
You can't win.
So now they bring in this one who's worse than him.
Oh.
She's worse than him. Because he's a fake liberal. He wasn't that liberal. He was fake.
It's in the
She's
bone.
a real liberal. She really is a real liberal. She's much worse than him.
And if Midwest votes for her because of superficial stuff, I'm done. Yeah, she is a real liberal. She's a progressive. It's in the bone. Joe just adapts and goes with the flow. Joe went with the flow. If it was popular for gay marriage, he was on it. If it was popular for transgender kids, he's on it. If it's popular for legal immigration at the moment and it's benefiting the party, he's on it. But deep down, the old Joe was the real Joe. The one that's talking about, I can't believe we're sitting here even debating about marriage between a man and a woman. That was the real Joe. The one that was talking about, you know what, it would be foolish for us to pull out of Afghanistan and leave all the weapons and this and that. And these people coming across the border, that was the real Joe. So he's not no bleeding heart liberal. He's just a slimy politician that's willing to do anything to stay in power. Yeah, but she's okay with all of this. Now, granted, she's a chameleon, and we'll see this throughout my show because I'm about to expose her too. So buckle up, y'all. It's about to get rough. She will adapt, say whatever, become whatever she has to win power. But deep down in her heart, the liberal part of her is good with some of the stuff that the Democrats push. It ain't one of those like sitting at home, like, oh man, I feel bad. I went out there talking about these kids should be allowed to take hormone, blockers and stuff like that. I mean, my party man is tripping. I mean, I don't really believe in it, but hey, I'm just falling in line. She's probably one to be like, I think it's okay. I don't see what the problem is. Yeah, that's what she's about. So let's see how accurate Trump is with his assessment of the situation.
Now, if we start beating her in the polls by 10 or 15 points,
then
are they going to bring in a third candidate?
Yep.
It's like, Trump is killing this guy. All right, out. Let's bring in a new one. Out. And then maybe at some point they get one right.
And it's sad, but that is so true. And honestly, I'm sitting back watching, and I'm saying, why hasn't Barack Obama come out and endorse chameleon? Well, why haven't Nancy Pelosi come out? I don't even know if Hawker Jeffries came out and said anything. I know that Crying Chuck came out and said something, but I think they're still sitting back waiting to see how she polls. And I don't know if they absolutely sold when it comes down to her. And maybe Joe put him in a little predicament because now everybody's expecting, since Joe, who obviously stepped down because he wanted to. Yeah, and he gave Kamala his blessing because truly he's the real president. He's the real man in charge. So, I mean, when the president himself endorses someone, then heck, we should support them as Democrat voters. Whoever the Democrats tell us to go ahead and support, that's what we do. That's what we do. We don't vet them. We just go ahead and we say, let's go ahead and support them. So it would look real shady right about now for them to just be like, actually, we want to hop over her too. We want to bring in some real fresh blood, okay? Not no young blood like Biden was talking about. The young blood, we want some new, younger. No, we want some fresh. Get her out of there too. So it's going to be interesting to see if her poll numbers continue to plummet in regards to Trump, what they do. Now, we know how they are. These folks will do things blatantly and open in your face and don't care. I mean, they were like, okay, that indictment didn't work. Then let's go ahead and drop another one. That impeachment didn't work. Well, run it back. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if people are scratching their heads going, don't you think they're going a little too far? Don't you think they're starting to violate this man's civil liberties? You think they care about that mess? It's all about, we'll do it, and then we'll use the media to clean up the optics of it. We'll convince our low IQ voters that what we're doing is all in the name of defeating Orange Man Bad and saving our democracy. So we got to go through 15 different candidates to beat Orange Man. Y'all better celebrate that mess. And guess what? Their voters will. That's the sad part about it.
It took him about, 4 years to pronounce her name right, and then she did an overthrow. That was a very undemocratic move, wasn't it?
It sure is. Very undemocratic move. Yo, we did it. Yo, we did it. And now get out the way, old man. Yeah, give it to me. I'm running with it. So it was very undemocratic. But you know what? You can't talk about that. You know why? Because if you say that, the only reason you're saying that is not because it's true. It's because you scared. You scared to go up against the cackler. You ain't got nothing on the cackler. Look at this. Defenders of democracy. Or are they defenders of the Democrats?
He asked the question, does character still matter? Well, it does tonight. It does tonight.
Is that crying, man?
The kid with the stutter did good. He did good. That's a good man. He fell on the sword.
Stop it.
Most heroes.
Stop it, Van. Give back that ball head. Go turn it in. You don't deserve that ball head, okay? You ain't got enough testosterone to have a ball head, Van. All right? So here he is. You did good. You fell on the sword. No, they stuck him with the sword. They ran him through with that sword. Joe was like, don't stick me. Shut up, old man. And he's talking about he fell on his sword. No, he didn't. He was thrown on that bad boy. Talk about he fell on his sword.
They fight to the bitter end. He fell on his sword. He's an old guy.
Come on, clean it up.
But the heart's still there. You know.
But the brain's gone. That's the problem. The brain's gone.
Words aren't as clear, but the love is as clear. The heart is still there. And I think people need to look at this because you had somebody sitting in that chair and he wouldn't give up power no matter what.
See, here we go. So you're bunny hopping over the real threat to democracy and now going to do what all slimeball Democrat politicians and operatives do. You're going to project what your party is doing onto Trump. So you're talking about Trump didn't want to give up the power. Guess what? Joe didn't either. Just a few weeks ago, he was talking about you know what? I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, I've made my choice. I'm staying in office. I think I'm the only one that can beat Trump. He had made his choice. Your own party went ahead and sabotaged this man and forced him out. And you talking about the other guy didn't want to give up power and he stayed in office. But I guess you want us to believe that Joe wanted to give up the power willfully. Yeah, that's the only reason he did this, in spite of him multiple times just a few weeks ago saying, look, I'm not going anywhere.
Wouldn't give up power, let there be an insurrection, wouldn't get out of that chair. Even when the people voted for you to get out of the chair.
You big fat lion. That's why I have no problem with laughing at him crying because he's lying. Yeah, just the other day, I uploaded a video of crying Van Jones. So he's crying and lying. Yeah, so I guess then Trump is still sitting in the White House, right? That wasn't him. It was a cheap fake of him and Melania walking out to Marine One. Yeah, let me go ahead and rub my eyes because maybe I didn't see it correctly. Who are those two people I saw exit the White House and get on Marine One? That was Trump and Melania. And here your fat, big head butt sitting up there lying, trying to cover for Joe Biden and your raggedy party that cares nothing about the democracy that they claim they're protecting.
You got the chair. And you got somebody who's sitting in that same chair showing that character does matter, showing that you can have grace, you can put the people first, you can.
Joe has never put people first. In fact, the whole Democrat Party has never put people first. It's party first. Just like you are doing right now, Van. You're putting the party first. Yeah, don't be talking to me about that. You know what? It's about the people. You're straight up putting the party first because you know they stole the power from Joe Biden, which he didn't get it in the first place. They gave the power to him, then took it away. He who giveth can also taketh away. And Joe got it taken away.
Pass the baton, and you're a bigger person for it. You're going to be more loved for it. So you got two examples now of what men with power do.
And look how they are trying to spin this garbage.
And how they act at the end. And you couldn't act any better than Joe Biden. That kid with the stutter grew up. He did a great job for this country.
I think I can smell shite.
And he's doing a great job tonight. And I love that man.
Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
Yes, I can definitely smell shite. You hear him, and I love that man. You care nothing about Joe Biden. You care about the Democrat Party. That's all you do, Van Jones. So now Van has gotten his orders to come out and try to make this look anything but what it really is. It's a coup. Yeah, done by their own party, an inside job. A coordinated attack on Joe, the guy that you were spitting and slobbering over when he won, when he somehow was installed 4 years ago. Up there, they were... My kids get, if you Muslim and if you black, and you know that integrity matter. That same guy, now you're up here, the kid with the stuttering problem. You know what? You did good. You did good. Now get out of the way. And then, look who else is out here trying to go ahead and endorse Kamala Harris. If it isn't Mr. Burns, if it isn't Crying Chuck.
Roots bottom up. We are here today to throw our support behind Vice President Kamala Harris.
What?
I'm clapping. You don't have to.
There was crickets? Where was all the crowd? Why did they go into cheers? Huh? That's saying something. Throw our support behind Vice President Kamala Harris. Okay, I guess I'm the only one crying. Okay, yeah, you're the only one clapping. Because this ain't no bottoms roots up. The people had nothing to do with this. This is all you guys. It's from the top down. Yeah.
It's a happy day. What can I say?
Yeah, nervously laughing it off. Yeah, that didn't go for well. All right, let's see.
This was a grassroots, bottom-up process that was really given to the voters, just in case you weren't aware, definitely not top-down.
Yeah, they just didn't know it. It was like Holly Berry back in the day in her prime. Yeah, she loved me, but she just didn't know it. That's what it was. She was walking around going, I have this empty void within me. I feel love. Yeah, I feel this love I need to give to someone. I'm just not aware of who he is and where he is. See, so the Democrats got that void. The voters. We got this love for the Democrat Party. We don't care who they are, where they are. Just give us a Democrat. We'll vote for them. Just give us one. So, yeah, the people participated. They just didn't know it.
True. I was laughing as you played that clip, Megan, because, it's just so telling in so many ways.
Hey, wasn't she a Democrat at some point? So my theory is true. If you have any integrity, you could only tolerate those nasty, stinking demons for so long before you say, wait a minute, maybe we're the baddies. Are we the baddies? And get out of there.
Ending with him being the only guy clapping. It really said it all about who has actually made the decision here. And it's not the rank and file Democrats. And we got to go all the way back to when the Democratic presidential primaries were supposed to occur.
Oh, I remember that.
Stark contrast to when I ran in 2020 in that presidential primary where you actually had primaries. And there were a lot of different choices from voters to select from. How that pre-curation and pre-selection process occurred between the Democratic Party and the mainstream propaganda media back then is another topic for another conversation.
Yeah, because see, when you ran, Tulsi, they still was up to those shenanigans. They was up to those shenanigans then. Because Chameleon, remember, she had to drop out because of Tulsi. She was the first. Took it to the chin. It was a knockout punch during the debates. But somehow that woman miraculously came back and was appointed to be what? The VP? How you do that? Oh, DEI that we're going to be seeing later that the media don't like it now. They don't like DEI all of a sudden. They don't want you talking about DEI. So, yeah, not only did she bounce back after a horrific performance, so did Joe. He was doing horrifically. And somehow, miraculously, he came out on top. Go figure. Two of the most slimeball corrupt politicians was just like put right in there. Could it be they were picked because they are slimeballs? Because they are Muppets? Because they are all about power? And they're like, you can use me any way you want. Just make me rich, make me powerful, okay? All right, I'll be the puppet. Could it be that?
But at least there were many names on the ballot. And voters had the opportunity to go and cast their vote for the candidate of their choosing. In this election now in 2024, many states didn't even have primaries. We actually had
Well, you mean to tell me the illusion of democracy on the Democrats' part started to shrink? So at least when she ran, they had the illusion of democracy, even though Bernie got shafted. Okay, even though he got shafted. And then Pete Booty had to step down too. Yeah. But nonetheless, as time has gone on, it looks like they have shrunk the illusion of democracy. Why deal with a primary? That was back then. That was like, for 4 or 5 years ago. I say, you know what? We've evolved. We've progressed in our tyranny. We're no longer interested in creating the perception that this is a democracy or a republic you guys are living in. So now we're not going to even fool with primaries. Yeah, you guys that are running against Creepy, go somewhere and sit down. Okay? You're not getting no Secret Service. You're not allowed to be on ballots. There isn't going to be no debate. We've picked our candidate in the name of democracy.
A few people who stepped up to run against Joe Biden in the primary election, and their names are not allowed to be on some ballots in these states. So
That's
to say that, first of all, there was even a democratic process to select Joe Biden to be the nominee is a pure lie. And that lie is continuing on now as they try to create this new narrative and this facade of how the Democratic Party is going to the grassroots from the bottom on up to select Kamala Harris as the nominee. None of that has happened. What are we at? It's Wednesday now. This announcement was just made that President Biden was not going to run on Sunday. Where was the bottom-up grassroots voices being heard and votes being cast now for Kamala Harris to be the new Democratic nominee? It's a lie. It hasn't happened. They have decided that she will be the nominee, but they're trying to pretend as though that this is a decision being made by the American people, or certainly Democratic primary voters.
Oh, you know what, Tulsi? You walked in, I woke up. I never seen a pretty girl look so tough, baby. You got that look? Yeah, man, you see her making me sing. She's like, yeah, they ain't fooling me. That's why I got out of that funky party. They're creating the illusion of democracy. We're all the people. We're all the voters. How many votes did Chameleon get? How many did she get, y'all? Oh, the goose egg. The goose egg. Now, that is the perfect example of DEI. Perfect. And that is an obstacle for the left to overcome, because they have no excuse of how this woman was able to start from the bottom. Now she here. And they know that they're going to get hammered on the whole DEI argument. So they got to go out there and neutralize that by claiming, if you recognize that, you're a racist. That's what you are. But they can't call her that.
To try to bolster her position rather than seeing it for what it actually is, which is a coronation by the Democrat elite who've been calling the shots for Joe Biden, who's been a figurehead for the Democrat elite for the last 3.5 years. And now they see in Kamala Harris someone who will continue to be a figurehead and who will do whatever they tell her to do.
You got that look? You must have took a whole hour just to make up your face, baby. Closing time, ugly lights, everybody's inspected. Yeah, man, you hear her dropping it out there. Like, yeah, man, y'all ain't fooling me. Or people who got common sense. We all see the game that's being played. And they're replacing one Muppet for another one. The one Muppet just got old and dusty. The kid played with it too long. You can see their fingers sticking out the mouth. The yarn is starting to unravel. Mom is sick of duct taping it and all of that and trying to sew it. One of the eyeballs was missing. And finally, they're like, throw that nasty, dirty thing away. Bring up a new puppet. Same results. Same results. That's all you're going to get. So they are doing their best to reinvent Chameleon Harris. She needs a makeover, y'all. Oh, let's see what this next smart woman has to say about what the Democrats are up to.
He tells us that he dropped out simply because he thought he was going to lose. Well, that's, again, another notch on the belt for the party that believes in democracy and they want to uphold it at all costs.
That's right. Yeah, they're willing to go ahead and throw our country into civil war to uphold democracy. Yeah, they're willing to do all of these things in the name of democracy. Or, I'm sorry, in the name of the Democrats. So now the hypocrisy is just all over the place. The streets are running with hypocrisy. That's right. I need to go ahead and build me an ark because the hypocrisy is filling up. I need a canoe because hypocrisy is flowing through the streets. So they're trying to save democracy through hypocrisy. Y'all see how that works? Here we go.
I mean, dropping out 100 days before a general election because you're losing doesn't exactly scream democracy to me, Piers. True. But I'll tell you this. What? He owes the American people a lot of answers. Vice President Kamala Harris owes the people a lot of answers.
Why?
What did she know? She apparently has little lunchy lunches with Joe Biden often.
I want to know about them little lunchy lunchies. Okay. As you set their feet in Joe pudding. Okay, Joe, we did it, Joe. Now open wide. There you go. Oh, your teeth fell out. Wait a minute. Hold on. Here, open wide. Here, there you go. You're good. You're good. Anyway, listen, I'm about to go back to my office and do what I normally do. Spin around and play with my Venn diagrams. And yeah, you sit here and spin around and finish eating your chocolate chip. Because neither one of us are doing anything. Neither one of us have power at all. Both of them. Politicians for nothing.
He's obviously seen the cognitive slippage, so we need to hear from her too, and we can't just move on. I know the Democrats want to just move on to 100 days of Operation Coconut Tree Brat Kamala, but we still have a lot of questions and we deserve answers.
Yeah,
they subverted the entire primary process. They should be in the hot seat for that, Piers.
Yeah, they should be. But because they have the fake news out there trying to rewrite the whole story. Yeah, no wonder Joy Reid was talking about, I fear that because of what happened to Donald Trump, the media isn't going to guard history. Yes, they might take it easy on him. And see, our job is to write the history according to the raggy behind globalist / Marxist / tyrannical / dirty, stinking, funky, rank Democrats. That's our job. So let's see how they're doing with that.
We are here today to throw our support behind Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm clapping. You don't have to.
Crickets. Odd to me that just a few weeks ago, heck, a few days ago, most Democrats were still looking into television cameras and saying that this person is up to another 4 years. I mean, he's obviously running on fumes. They weren't cheap, folks, no matter what the government told you. In fact, I still think it's a legitimate scandal how they ever arrived at the decision to run again. In the first place, I still think his family and his top staff have a lot of explaining to do. Most of this seemed like a stump speech to me. It seemed like he gave the speech that he always wanted the campaign to be about, which was he wants credit for this record that he thinks is historic and was not getting out of the campaign.
Yeah, the one that's all in his head. Yeah, because people come into that office and say, Joe, you're doing great. The people love your policies. They're working. Are they really? Yeah, you didn't know that? We told you they would work, Joe. Can I see the paperwork? No, we don't want to burden you with that. We'll handle everything from here, okay? So when you go out, just read what we write on the teleprompter and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So now what this man is saying is, shouldn't somebody be explaining how Joe ended up in the condition that he's in when just a short time ago, everybody on that set and all the Democrats and the rest of the fake news were all saying this man was fit as a fiddle and sharp as a tack. Especially Kamala Harris that allegedly was meeting with him all the time. And Jill, where's Jill? Jill should be upset that Joe's condition went right under the doctor's nose and they didn't catch it. Here I am sleeping with this man every night, going out, all this stuff, supporting him. And then all of a sudden I'm shocked when he shows up at the debate in this condition. Jill should have went right to the doctors like, did you know this was happening? Did you know this was happening? Now here we are getting embarrassed. Or is it that Jill knew too? Hunter knew. Kamala knew. Black Gay Drop knew. Nasty Pelosi knew. All these folks on this set knew. And guess what? We knew. The only folks that didn't know was their low IQ, low information voters. That was it. And they found out on that debate night, like, what the heck? Hey, we've been lied to. And guess what? Their mouth is open like baby birds for more lies. So now the same people who lied to them about how raggedy of a candidate Joe Biden was, now you're about to see them turn around and stir up the lies again. They're starting to brew them up and about to feed these folks another raggedy candidate. And their mouths are wide open.
I'm still shocked, by the way, at how easy it is to overthrow the president. I mean, I think we all think of this office as being impenetrable. He got 81 million votes in 2020, and then he got 14 million more. But at the end of the day, he was no match for a handful of party bosses who run the Democratic Party. So
the truth hurts. So now, yeah, it is easy to overthrow the presidency. They did it to Trump, but it was harder to do it to Trump than it was Joe Biden. And that's the problem when you're a slimeball, corrupt Democrat politician with a history. Yeah, it's easier to do it to you. Just, hey, Joe, look, man, we hate to go ahead and turn the media against you. And Trump's already, they done went through that with Trump. He's like, hey, they can't say anything more about me than what they've already been saying. They've already came up with fake lies. They already impeached him. They already indicted him. They already tried to take his money. And then they shot him in the face. He's more of a difficult burden to get rid of than Creepy Sleepy, because he's a traditional slimeball politician with probably so much dirt. All they had to do is say, okay, we're going to stop playing around with you. We tried to be nice. But do we got to release some tapes? Do we got to do that, Joe? So I think you need to make the choice we all are trying to tell you to make. That's what it is. They didn't have that on Trump. So they had to concoction it. They had to come up with it. They had to fake it. All of that crap. So, and they're still trying to stop this man, and he's chugging along. Come on along, Trump train is coming. Come on along, Trump train is coming. Let's continue hearing this guy give all these people on this panel who's guilty of covering for Joe at some point a verbal lashing.
At the end of the day, a bunch of people looked into TV cameras over the last days, weeks, and months and told you a lot of things that were not true about this president.
Watch him do it again. And they're about to run all those lies right back. And guess what? The idiots that were mad that, hey, y'all tricked us about Joe Biden, their memories are like this. They'll forget. They'll be going, hey, the same people who just told me Joe was fine, then all of a sudden pretended that they were shocked that Joe was in this condition, are now telling me that this new person who's connected to Joe, who knew Joe wasn't fine, is fine. Look at this. Here we go.
And there's a big movement underway right now to rewrite the script again.
Rewrite it. Let the gaslighting begin.
This is the kind of thing that is playing out all over conservative media. I just want to do a little bit of
clean up. I just want to do a little bit of propaganda and clean up because we're about to go ahead and give Chameleon a makeover.
Correcting. There's not record crime right now. Number one, Harris was put in charge, as you said earlier, of combating the roots of immigration. She was not and is.
Now they already know Kamala Harris has no track record of success as a vice president or as a presidential candidate. They know that. And they knew the one assignment she got, she failed at it. They knew that immediately when she was anointed as the chosen one, the Republicans were going to fire into her and say, okay, she had one job, the border. She was the border czar. Now, notice they hadn't been coming out defending the border czar narrative until she became the front runner. All of this time, we've been letting her have it for being a so-called border czar, and they've never contested it. Now, all of a sudden, they didn't flip the script. And they're saying that she was not the border czar. She was just assigned to find the grassroots of why all this immigration is happening. Well, you didn't need to go all the way down to South America for that. All you need to do is turn to Mucus right there in the White House. Hey, Mucus, are you the problem? Absolutely. Why are you even asking me if I am the problem? Because you also know that I'm doing this because you all wanted me to do it. So why make the trip? Yeah, you guys are the problem. But she was assigned to be the border czar, but not according to them. However, there are such things as called receipts.
It's not the border czar. The Biden administration did task Vice President Kamala Harris with the issue of migrant crossings, naming her the so-called border czar.
I've asked her, the VP today, because she's the most qualified person to do it, to lead our efforts with Mexico and the Northern Triangle. And the countries that help, we're going to need help in stemming the movement of so many folks stemming the migration to our southern border.
Now look at that. So the media hasn't repented. That's what you're telling me. All of that acting as if they now found Jesus and they was reporting real hard and hitting, the White House with all them questions. Now all of a sudden, we find that they're back to their old ways. They were just waiting to get that one obstacle out of their way so they can get back to business as usual. Propaganda, running interference for the Democrats, and lying. But it's amazing that they lie about stuff you just can Google. The video's right there on the internet. It's all over the place. But remember, guys, they're not lying to us. They're lying to their low-informed, low-IQ voters. That's who they're lying for. Yes, they're trying to protect her from the reality that she had one job and couldn't get that done.
Been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe.
mean, I don't understand the point that you're.
Yeah, you understand the point because you stunk at your job. Remember, this is the same woman. The border is secure. Yeah, you start seeing clips of that, unless you are voting solely because I hate Trump. If you're voting because, you know what, she's black, she's a woman, or I'm just a Democrat. That's what we all do. Unless you're voting for those things, there's no way you can look at her record and say, I'm voting for her because she's a hard-hitting politician that got it done. No way in the world. And the media knows it. The Democrats knows it. They know she's a weak candidate. And that is why they are now in cleanup mode. They're trying to give her a makeover.
A mother
Look at
who
this.
pays a coyote to
A
transport
coyote,
her
y'all.
child through their country of origin, through the entire country of Mexico, facing unknown peril to come here. Why would that mother do that? I will tell you.
I'll tell you. It's because you all said come. Yeah, that's why. It's because Joe said, if I were there, my time to search the border. If they're coming because of asylum, come on. That's why. It's because mucus opened the border wide up. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because no mother in her right mind would send her kids on a journey to come to America and spend money to do it if she did not feel as if that money would go to good use. If she felt like, wow, I'm about to waste $6,000, send my kid all the way to the U.S. border, who knows what could happen to him? And for all I know, he can get to the border and they're like, sorry, little Jesus, you got to go back home. I don't know how to get back home. They brought me here through the desert and all of those things. What do you want me to do? It ain't our problem. It's not our problem. Okay, what? You're all out of money because you paid the coyotes? Wow, tough break, little guy. All right, go on, scoop. No mother would do that. They did it because they knew the Biden administration was like, come on, we got you. You need some hotels? You need some food? You know, what else you need? Huh? Yeah. That's why they did it. But here she is. I'll tell you why.
Because she has decided for that child to remain where they are is worse. But what does Donald Trump do? He
follows the law. That's what he does. Looks at America first and says, yo, we're not the dumping ground for everybody's problems, especially people who are coming here for a better life and not asylum. And look, she puts her spin on it. But see, remember, guys, she's a chameleon. Watch how she adapts and changes just before our eyes.
He says, go back to where you came from. That is not reflective of our America and our values, and it's got to end.
To be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border.
You hear this xenophobe? Do you hear this white supremacist that happens to be a woman of color? Do you hear her up here saying, look, let me be clear. Okay, I'm the border czar. Now I'm about to lay down a message for y'all.
Do not come. Do not come. And I believe if you come
like
to
a
our
true
border,
xenophobe.
you will be turned back.
Hold your ass. We're pumped. We're excited. We got a great candidate. We've always had a great message. Now we've got a very strong candidate.
Well, you don't sound too pumped and excited. Sounds like manufactured excitement. Oh yeah, we're pumped. We're excited. We finally got a candidate. It's not half dead. We got a candidate that can actually talk but not make sense. We got a candidate that can walk on her own, and most of the time she can go up and down stairs. So we're excited. We're making progress.
You can deliver that message.
Here's the message.
Are running a people-powered campaign.
Why do you sound like Hillary Clinton? These Democrats are so fake. So this is her on her campaign trail. Yeah, she seems very relatable, sincere. She sounds like Hillary Clinton. They all get into this rhythm. And then she's going to try to slide in a little preaching in her voice.
And because we are a people-powered campaign, that is how you know we will be a people-first president.
Who talks like that normally? That is why I appreciate Trump. He doesn't change each audience. He talks to them like he talks to every other audience. Don't belittle my intelligence. Don't get in my face changing it up based on, wait, are these mostly black people? Okay, cool. I'm going with the bass in the voice. Yeah, I'm going to go with a little bit of jive. Oh, wait, there's white people. Let me take all the bass off. Hello, how are you? All right, listen up, everyone. Today I'd like to be speaking about. No, I'm just kidding. Because the white dudes, some of them talk just like the brothers nowadays. What up, bro? Come here, they bring it in. I'm like, all right, then, brother from another mother. Yeah. So here she is trying to get into a politician's rhythm, and it sounds forced, manufactured. So let's finish hearing her because they're excited.
A feeling for the first time in many months that this is not only a winnable race, they can. They're trying to make themselves believe this. For the first time, wow, this is tough for me here because this is a fat lie I'm telling. Really? So you don't believe Donald Trump?
And we, who believe in reproductive freedom.
Good grief. Can you imagine her as the United States president? She is the worst. I mean, just her whole demeanor is just repulsive. It leaks out. She's so unlikable. So unlikable. I mean, I could barely listen to the substance of what she's even talking about because of her whole disposition. And all of that. What's up with the head bobbing and trying to sound like you in some church? Nobody wants that.
Will stop Donald Trump's extreme abortion bans because we trust women to make decisions about their own body.
Look at that. Their own body. What is that? Huh? Bounce, baby, bounce, baby, bounce, 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 baby. When I come through, hit you with the 1-2. What's up with the bouncing head and all of that? Keep your head still. Stay in the pocket. What's wrong with you? So here she is up there thinking she's in a pulpit about their own body. All they're focused on, abortion and democracy. She sucks.
And not have their government tell them what to do.
You mean like, get the shot? You mean like that? Get in the house. Yeah, lock your kids up in the house. Make them go to school from home. Put that mask on your face. Now, we've been patient, but our patience is running thin. You mean like that? Yeah, I like choices too, Chameleon. I like choices too.
I kind of fell in love with her. I thought she was smart, engaging. She's funny, feisty, twinkle in your eye.
I'm jumping out of my seat over here watching this. I think people have been thirsting for this.
She is all over TikTok. She has turned things that seemed cringy into making her seem cool. Like this.
You hear that? They are pulling out all the stops, doing it again, running it back. Yeah, they are feeding their voters the same garbage that they fed them with Joe. We love, man. All right, can I get another take? It's hard for me to really sell it. Could you give me my motivation again, acting coach? So I'm supposed to, okay, wait, my character is really in love with Kamala. He actually believes she's the best candidate. Okay, let me try it again. Action. Okay, we're excited about, look, she's not annoying. That laugh right there is not piercing. No, it's sweet. It's melodious. It's fun. It's fun. Everybody can relate to that laugh. That cackle. It's like a melodious a bird in the morning, a blue jay singing to us. So now here they are out here trying to reinvent her. They're trying to give her a full makeover.
This feels Obama level energy, and Trump world's not ready for it.
I just want to talk about this appeal to Gen Z. Yeah. So, I, for the record, I was tipped off about this, what I'm about to share with our voters, our viewers rather, by my 16-year-old
Who truly
daughter,
is an
who is an
expert.
actual member of Gen Z.
Now that's fake crapper. The same guy that was all of a sudden reformed a couple weeks ago, dropping sarcasm out there. As all of the fake narratives came out of the White House. Yeah, he was disgusted that he was tricked and deceived. He was disgusted that apparently the Democrats, they pulled the wool over his eyes as a reporter and a person that's supposed to be educated with common sense, that Joe Biden really wasn't in good mental health. Yeah, so he was mad. And now he is out here looking at Chameleon as a good thing, trying to sell her to Gen Z, trying to drum up support from the young millennials and the young folks and all that stuff. Nobody cares about them. Plus, you guys be paying little TikTokers to try to sell these politicians, and their movements aren't organic. So listen to how fake and forced this whole new hip Kamala Harris persona is right here, as they try to sell it to us, y'all.
Kamala Harris appears to be leaning into this. The singer Charlie XCX tweeted last night, Kamala is Brat. And this is in reference to her album. It's called Brat. Kamala has branded her Kamala HQ Twitter page with the same aesthetic of the album. It's another Gen Z word, aesthetic. It's even becoming a trend on TikTok.
Democrats will try anything. Remember Kamala first came out with Wakanda Forever. What was that? The fact that a full adult politician would pay money for that advertisement and it wasn't a parody lets me know what condition she's in. Mentity. So now all of a sudden she's supposed to be hip instead of being annoying and unlikable. They're trying to rebrand her and sell her to, the young kids and stuff as hip. Nobody cares what they think. So now she's Brat, whatever that means.
Special Gen Z correspondent Jamie Gale, what can you tell us about?
So first of all, just for my producer Elizabeth Stewart, who will spit out her coffee as I say this, I am supposed to say that's Brat. And for those,
that green is a perfect color. It's the color vomit. All over her, vomit. That's what it makes me want to do watching her. Vomit right there on the screen. And that might not even be some type of cover. And that might not be a filter. That might be all the vomit from all the people in the audience as she gets out there acting a fool and annoying everybody to death. So now they don't want us to look at her personality as annoying, irritating, childish. No, just look at her as just a roundaway girl. She's just bratty. She's silly. She's kind of quirky, but it's cute. I want you to see that. I want you to see that it's cute. No longer will you look at that and say, if I hear another cackle come out of her, I'm going to jump right out this window. No, don't look at it like that. I want you to start retraining your brain to embrace the cackle. They want people to embrace the cackle. That's what they want. Take in the cackle. No. So who cares what these millennials think or Gen Z? Adults don't want this chick out here cackling all over the place. Cackling it up on the mic. Going overseas, leaving cackle all over the place. I could find you because of the cackle drops. I shouldn't be able to track you down because all of the cackle drops you done left behind. Nobody wants that.
who are not in the know the way I am, that is a cool thing. It has a color.
It's cool now.
Chartreuse is the color. Kamala Harris
it's cool now.
Has adopted that for whatever social media
the makeover.
But I have brought some notes because I knew you would want a definition. Okay, here we go. Charlie XCX, who I do know, quote, Brat, you're just that girl who is a little messy and likes to party and maybe says some dumb things sometime.
No, all the time. So now you see the two phases, the two efforts of trying to rebrand her. The first effort is to create a new persona or a new image to now say all of the flaws that got on everybody's nerves, the very characteristics that made her unlikable. We're going to tell you that they're cool now. You no longer see them as annoying. They're now cool. Embrace them. So that's the first thing. The second phase is to now stop any opposition from exposing her weaknesses. So now on one end, we have to rebrand her. On the other end, we have to protect her blind side. All of these weaknesses, which they are plentiful, we got to block them. We got to attack anybody who questions her, who calls her out, who just are able to see that she's a DI. We got to go in on them. So rebrand her and then protect her from any negativity. That's the phases that they operating in. So watch this after they get finished fawning all over her. Watch them come out and protect her.
End quote.
So is the idea that we're all kind of Brat and Vice President Harris?
I'm not embracing that. Don't try to sell me on that, fake crapper. You're not going to get me to see that nasty Yugo as a nice Lamborghini. It's a Yugo. Don't try to sell me a Chevette. Y'all remember those Chevettes, the little hatch? Talking talking about some. Now, look, normally a Chevette is garbage. It doesn't even have power steering. But you know what? There's this new movement here that everybody's doing it. I mean, it's a big thing. You ain't heard of it? Everybody wants a Chevette. The Chevette is where it's at. No, I'm good. You're not going to sell me on that. So here they are trying to rebrand her and make her seem cool and hip, just a little quirky, and says some foolish things only sometimes.
And I don't.
Well, I don't know if you're right.
Aspire
Two of
to
us,
be Brad.
right?
Okay, you don't just become Brad.
Oh, okay.
You have to try.
You can work at it.
It's not a thing. That's why. You don't become Brad, or you are Brad. It's not a thing. It's something that was invented just for her. It's something that was invented just to cover up all of her unlikableness. It's kind of like the word y'all invented a couple months back. Remember that one? Cheap fake. It wasn't a thing. It's something you guys invented to excuse Joe Biden walking around like a zombie. So now all of a sudden, she's Brad. Let me go ahead and look up the fake made up definition that we all coordinated. And the Brad means that you are.
I will aspire to be Brad.
If Kamala Harris hadn't been tied up for years, sort of put to the side and allowed to leave and allowed to show
Who did that to
and
her?
allowed to show, but here's the thing.
Who did it to her?
A couple bad interviews.
Who put her in the corner?
And that was a mistake that Democrats are going to learn from.
Who made it? Who made the mistake? I just want to hear you.
Who did it? Is it a friend of hers? Yeah. Is it creepy? Who did it? So that's what I want to know as you sit back talking about the only reason she ain't got any accomplishments because they was holding her back. Well, who was doing that? It's kind of like how they all talk about how the inner city who's ran by Democrats are plagued with racism, police brutality, and I'm going, who's running those cities? That's what I want to know. Who's responsible for the education and the violence and all of that in those cities? Who are you trying to blame, lady? So now here she is talking about they held her back. Well, who did it?
Who made the mistake?
But this is the point.
Made the
This happens in your
Answer the
party
question.
too. This happens in your party
You
too.
won't say it.
This is
No, it
sexism, right?
There it is.
This is sexism. This is allowing somebody to take the.
So now the Democrats are sexist. The same Joe Biden and their administration, this the most diverse administration ever, is sexist. That's why they wasn't giving her more responsibilities. Not because she was incompetent and couldn't handle them. Not because she failed at the one, responsibility they gave her, which there was nothing she could do about that anyway. I don't even know why they gave it to her because everybody knew the goal was to break the border. So she has just been up there going through the motions like mucus. But nonetheless, they're the ones that gave her that job, knowing that it was a job that you couldn't correct, and it made her look trashy, horrible. So now here she is blaming the most diverse, equality cabinet ever. They held her down now all of a sudden. Held her down because she was a woman. They're sexist.
Fall when things aren't going well, and that happens regardless of party. So you guys have something to learn because I saw.
Don't try to put that on us.
Listen, I just
Okay.
want to know.
Jamal,
you were there.
Because we have.
I was there.
Okay.
Apple head's back. Big nose. Apple head is back. You see that boxing glove on the tip of her face? You see that? So now here comes boxing glove looking into a Christmas bulb nose, joyless Reed. She's happy again. Just last week or so, she was whining and stuff and talking about, I'll vote for Joe if he peeing all on himself. I don't care. I'm gonna vote for Joe. Y'all better leave Joe alone. Now all of a sudden, she's done forgot all about Joe. Forgot him just that quick. Just that quick. Now she's on the Kamala train. So let's hear her take on Kamala. And let's see how she earns her prostitute money.
Gotta say it. I just gotta say it.
What? Say what?
Given the just stratospheric entrance of Vice President Kamala Harris
Man, how much do these people get paid? The stratospheric entrance of Vice President Kamala Harris. Pull back a little. Don't you think you're overselling her? Hey, listen. I got a great car. You're looking for a car? I tell you what, this is the best car. I've never even sold a car like this before. Technically, I don't want to sell it. Actually, I'd rather keep it, but you know what? I have to. Yeah, my boss told me I have to get rid of it, but I'm telling you, it's the best car I've ever had. People are going, you know what? I think you're overselling it. So here we go with some serious overselling.
to the presidential campaign, and she has now secured enough delegates to become the nominee. You're going to look real crazy being on the other side of that line.
Wait, So what? Anybody who don't vote for the cackler is going to look real crazy because you're on the other side of what line?
Particularly as a person of color, but really
Oh, now I get it. She's the gatekeeper to the blacks. There we go. My bad. She's the designated race baiter. There we go. I forgot almost for a second. I thought she was talking about, the other side of supporting her because she's smart, she's intelligent, she's productive, she's wise, she has a wonderful track record. I thought it was that. But now all of a sudden, I find out that I got to vote for her or I'm going to be on the wrong side because I ain't voting for the black woman. But hey, don't be coming up here talking about some DEI, okay? We ain't on that mess.
as anyone who claims to have any connection to the culture, you're going to look real weird and real lonely on that side.
No, we won't. Now, you see, these are the priorities that the Democrats focus on. But this is also the Swiss cheese that they're feeding minorities. They get people like this dirtbag right here to come out here and try to shame black folks into voting for her, not because of substance, not because of what her and Raggedy Joe has accomplished and done for their neighborhoods, their bank accounts, all of that stuff, not because of that. If you don't vote for her because of superficial stuff like what she's about to tell us, that these are important things, you ain't gonna hear her mention one time qualifications. Listen to the garbage that she's saying black folks better come out and vote for Chameleon over.
The door needs to close behind Amber, and she look crazy over there. But shut the door behind her. You really are gonna look crazy being on that side, given the cultural phenomenon of Vice President Kamala Harris.
So there you go. Cultural. There you go. Do it so you can be hip. Do it so you don't feel like an outcast at your liberal job at the water cooler when all of your other friends are like, isn't she great? It's so nice to be able to vote for a black woman, even though I'm white. But you know what? I'm ashamed of it. I'm ashamed of being white. Could someone flog me? Could someone flog me? My whiteness is blinding me. Yes, I love your people. See, so you can sit back at the water cooler like, I voted for her too. Even though she's done nothing for my pockets. The border's wide open. She's horrible on foreign policies. She ain't never done nothing right. But hey, I'm on the right side of the culture war. As this being something to be important when it comes down to voting, but this is the disrespect that they have for their voters. Let's get them focusing on that. Primarily minority voters, because this is her niche. She's designed to go after them. They built her in some lab like she's the perfect race baiter.
She's about to make history. She's about to become
the first
president.
Like
she brings together the African American community, the AAPI community, younger people. She is a whole meme. And I'm going to explain to y'all the coconut tree is a whole West Indian thing. She brings together all of the aspects of the culture. HBCUs. She's a Howard graduate. The Divine Nine.
None of this matters. None of these are policies. Do you see how superficial and how empty Kamala is? She ain't got nothing to sell her on. She's the culture warrior. She's black. She went to a black college. Did I tell you she was black? And don't forget that if you're black, you should support her. She's a woman too. She's a woman. And I'm saying, where's the substance? I would feel disrespected if I was a Democrat voter that still had common sense to see that, wait a minute, you're not telling me anything good. You're just trying to shame me into voting for this woman because of all the non-factors that you're mentioning.
She's an AKA. She is a woman of color extraordinaire.
DEI?
She will be the first, person from HBCU, regular real world to be president.
That's regular real world? So all the hard guys and hard girls in the Midwest who just go work 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, that didn't go off and become an AKA, didn't go to all black college and all that stuff, didn't go to college at all. As the Democrats are trying to make them pay for student loans. Those people, they can relate to that. As they're digging ditches, working on the jackhammer, throwing up drywall, they can relate to all the stuff that she's trying to sell us on.
president of the United States, in addition to being the first woman president, in addition to being the first black.
But if you bring that up and say that's the only reason y'all want us to vote for her, she would get mad and say you are a racist, and here you are bringing up DEI, but all she has given us is a heavy dose of DEI. She has not given us one qualification yet, and yet she'll be the first to say, you can't say she's a DEI hire. I can say it.
In addition to being the first AAPI president, she's bringing it all. And very importantly, she'll be the first woman president after the fall of Roe v. Wade.
Nothing but DEI. So now she could go ahead and lay down all of the characteristics and boxes of DEI. Right down the list. But if you recognize that, oh, you're a white nationalist. You're a white supremacist. Or a sellout.
A woman who brings women back to power, having our power stripped from us by 6 far right wingers on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, all these women right now are walking around with dresses down to their ankles, and they're all pregnant, and they're in the kitchen. They're not able to walk out amongst the people. That's right. All their rights are stripped back. Men can flog their wives if they feel they're being disobedient. Yeah, y'all didn't know that? All these women done got set back for decades and ages. There you go. And in spite of the rumor that, abortions are now illegal, throughout the whole country, word on the street is you can go to any state and get an abortion if your state has voted to outlaw them. So you're telling me then, Joy, there's still options. You're telling me there are states that actually allow the people to decide that? Well, hey, that's what I would think you would call democracy. That's what I would think. But nah, you guys aren't really trying to protect democracy. You're trying to protect the Democrats.
Including one woman who turned on us. Baby, this is a cultural moment.
I'm not sure people understand the pain or the suffering that goes along with being a black man. I'm not sure people understand what it means to stay.
Yeah, because me as a black man, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So we got another crybaby, y'all. Van ain't the only one out there snotting all over the mic. So now here we have this guy right here. He's all busted up because Chameleon done stepped up, and she's now the front runner. And now I don't think y'all understand how I feel in America to be a black man. And I'm saying, yes, please tell me who's making a lot of money. This guy right here, who's making a lot of money.
This is a cultural moment.
I'm not sure people understand the pain or the suffering that goes along with being a black man in this country.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure right now over his shoulder, I'm about to see about 3 or 4 dudes with white sheets over their head come up behind him, throw a sheet over his head, and drag him off somewhere. I'm sure this guy who's crying right there in what it looks to be a nice hotel lobby, I'm sure this guy right here is looking over his shoulder in any second. Look here, y'alls. Y'alls don't know how it feels to be a black man out here in America. Any second now, I hear the horses coming. Yeah, this guy right here. Up here telling us how hard it is to be a black man. I'm thinking, I feel very secure walking around. No fear whatsoever. However, I will say there are some urban areas where a lot of black people live that I don't feel secure. So if you're talking about that, then miss me. If you ain't talking about that, get out of here. Talking about something, I don't think you understand how I feel.
I'm not sure people understand what it means to stand strong in the country. I'm not sure people understand what it means to have your back against the wall. And so now it's my turn. And I really don't care what you all say about there's another black man crying or this or that or the third.
Man, Democrats produce so many men without testosterone. These are weak men. Weak men. They serve this party religiously. Getting on here crying over Kamala Harris like she's going to save black folks. Y'all went all crazy over Barack Obama. He do nothing for the brothers. Nothing for the brothers. Y'all swapping down Joe Biden was going to come in and save the black folks. Y'all are more loyal to the Democrat Party than your blackness. Always talking about black folks. And I'm going, it ain't nothing about blackness. It's about Democrat Party. Whoever they tell y'all to support, y'all will do it, whether they white, black, or otherwise. and they will treat you the same, whether they're white, black, or otherwise.
Because every day I'm working hard to make sure that tomorrow's better than yesterday. And so don't stand up.
Stand up.
Because if we do not change the country we're living in, our daughters, our sons are going to have hell to pay.
Well, we all feel the same way. However, we're not on TV crying about it. We just look at it differently. If we don't win this election, our whole country is going to be changed. If they would have killed our candidate, the whole country would have been changed. I don't think you realize how tough it is to be a Trump supporter in this country right about now. I don't think you understand that, bruh. See, I'm in a position where they will overlook my blackness. Your folks, your liberal supporters, the people on your aisle, don't care nothing about black, Latinos, and any other folks who support Trump. They will call us the same type of names. And you're a foul, you're a traitor to your people, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi. And here he is talking about, I don't think you understand. Being a black liberal in today's society is the easiest, silkiest job ever. This guy gets paid to go on TV and boo-hoo and keep black people on the plantation of the Democrat Party. And he's talking about, I don't think you understand. Is your channel being suppressed? Is your subscribers being yanked? There's big nose crybaby. Oh, look at this one. Look at this one, guys. Watch this. Here, they got some more race baiters. Watch this white nationalist on Fox News call Kamala Harris's little college group colored. Watch this, y'all.
The problem with Kamala Harris, number one, she has not had her record exploited heavily because people thought and marginalized her. Even in the Democratic Party, they said, wow, what a bad choice Joe Biden made. Number two is she hasn't sat down for an interview. When she sits down in an interview and says, do you want to defund ICE? Where do you stand on Medicare for all? Why didn't you show up? The most recent decision, already you got a question.
Now, see, these are substance questions and issues. I'm feeling you. I'm getting deep into this right here, okay? Because, you got a point, man. We should be asking questions about this, right?
She will not show up for the Prime Minister's joint session of Congress.
Why wouldn't
today.
she do that?
She'd rather address in the summer a sorority, a college sorority. Like she can't get out of that. So that's her decision.
Now, wow, that's something we should be talking about. Why would you not go and meet with Netanyahu, but instead, you go to meet with a college sorority? Or did he say college? Wait a minute.
If you watch the video, to say colored is one thing. You pronounce college totally different. You can't get the two confused. Colored, college. That's what it sounds like.
You hear these fools? Now, I listened to the same thing he listened to. He said college sorority. And these race-baiting fools, instead of talking about all of the other stuff Brian Kilmeade just laid out that are legitimate reasons to criticize or question Chameleon, these race-baiters' jobs was to come out and say, wait a minute, even though, he did say college, because it was like college sorority. I'm just going to go ahead and say he said color. I'm not even going to worry about the fact that if he would have simply said, people of color, he would have been fine. All of these fools are that simple-minded to where they will let the Democrat Party play word games with them. They're not even able to see that when you say people of color is the exact same thing as saying colored people. And these sold out dang on plantation overseers, they're too dumb to even realize they're getting played. So all he had to do is say she went to see a college sorority of women of color, and he would have been fine. But now, because this guy's imagination, his racism lenses and stuff like that, he's hearing dog whistles. So he heard colored sorority.
Listen to Kilmeade.
A college sorority.
A college sorority. College, I heard the L. A college sorority.
College sorority.
This man said colored sorority.
Now you see their job? I told you, protect her. Don't let anybody focus on what he was talking about and criticizing her of. That doesn't matter. What matters is he said a word that could be maybe misinterpreted as colored sorority. Not a sorority of color, though. See, that would be different. Totally different if you said a sorority of color. But when you say a colored sorority, then that's racism. That's racism.
A colored sorority.
You see what's happening, don't you?
Yeah, I see what's happening. TV. You guys are running interference for her because y'all don't want us to look at her flaws. That's what's happening. You guys are playing your role as race baiters and plantation overseers. That's what's happening, bruh.
A colored sorority.
A colored sorority.
Unbelievable. Man, I might not even be able to get through this tonight. I got 15 minutes left in the show, and I got 13 minutes of clips to go through. So we might have to do part 2 of them running interference for her. So now, exposing the chameleon, aka the cackler. Some spell it with a K, some spell it with a C. But let's go ahead and expose the cackler.
Border Czar Harris stays in charge. Every week we'll bring a never-ending stream of illegal alien rapists, bloodthirsty killers, and child predators to go after our sons and our daughters. That's what's going to happen. Everybody knows that. You're not going to talk these people into being wonderful citizens. If I'm elected, we will immediately deputize local police who are dying to do the job, by the way, but their power has been taken away.
Yes, Trump.
And we'll form a massive dragnet to scour the nation for the monsters who are murdering and raping children all over the world. Many of them have come here because they're looking for them in their own countries for rape, for murder, for all sorts of...
These are real issues. These are real issues. Not wondering if he said colored or college. Not because we're focusing on she went to HPC or HPU or whatever majigger. Not that. Not because she's an AKA or the Delta or whatever. Not that. Those are the real issues for the Democrats. This man's talking about some real stuff. These are policies that I'm going, yeah. This is music to my ears. Continue, Trump.
Of things, and we will ship them back to the country from which they came.
Word.
Get them out of here. Lion Kamala supported abolishing ICE. She compared ICE agents to members of the KKK. Can you believe it? It's so disrespectful.
Well, I could believe it because she's a chameleon. What the oops? Darn it. Wait. We're gonna get okay. Let's see. Let me get back to it. Oops, my bad. All right, let's see where we at. Yeah.
Amnesty for all illegals.
Little more.
Members of the KKK. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
It's so disrespectful.
Yeah. I mean, surely I could believe that because that's how Democrats roll. They're comparing you, Trump, to Hitler. So, I mean, why wouldn't they compare ICE to the KKK? These are the same people who came out and said that the Border Patrol agents were whipping Haitians and it was worse than slavery. Same people. They will call anybody anything for political gain.
She wants to get rid of them. Kamala voted in favor of deadly sanctuary cities. She supports decriminalizing illegal border crossings. And
these policies aren't going to fly in the Midwest. I'm just saying. And she might want to change it up. This is a good time for Chameleon to go ahead and take on a different color. Something.
She supports mass amnesty for all illegals. Think of that. Everybody coming in right now. And many of these people are coming out of the prisons and mental institutions. They're going to get amnesty. She wants everybody to have amnesty.
She wants everybody to? You know what? That's too much. That's too much. This woman sounds like an extremist. She sounds like a far extreme lefty. There it is. She sounds like a serious progressive. She might even be on the level of AOC type lefty. But nonetheless, Trump, what you telling me is we don't want these type of policies across our country. I don't care if she is an AKA.
Then Joe Biden made her the border czar, and that's when it really got bad. She launched a colossal illegal alien invasion of a country. She said, come on in, remember? So if you want socialist healthcare, nation-wrecking inflation, the death of American energy, and a lying radical left liberal San Francisco extremist as your commander-in-chief, then Kamala Harris is your candidate.
Yeah, and she's extreme. Yeah, somebody said, please define extreme. Hey, I tell you what, when they say we're extremists, I say common sense. See, it's common sense that you wouldn't let a person or kid under 18 be able to transition into something that they feel they are that they're not really are. Yeah, it's as simple as that. I'm going, you know what? That's just common sense. Why would you allow a kid to do that? But Kamala's okay with it. Yeah, it's common sense to say, why would you let a biological male get in a sport and dominate a female? But Kamala would. That's an extreme view, a take on it. Yeah. And just a couple months back, I did a video of them asking Kamala, what is the limit on late-term abortions? Now, I would say extreme is 9 months and beyond. Yeah, and she wouldn't even answer that question. Wouldn't even answer the question. That's pretty extreme. Yeah, I would say that's pretty extreme. And here's some more things, too.
Is the one for you. But this November, the American people are going to tell her, no thanks, Kamala. You've done a terrible job. You've been terrible at everything you've done. You're ultra-liberal, and we don't want you here. We don't want you anywhere. Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. You're fired.
You tell him, Trump. Scram. Oh, scram. Scram. Cackler scram for me. So now, wait, what's this? What's this? Look at this wonderful advertisement, really breaking down what the cackler really is about.
Kamala Harris is inspiring and very capable. The more people get to know her, they're going to be particularly impressed.
Well, let's get to know her.
Nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator. Very different in the policies that you've supported in the past. You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But
that's right. Blame it on the Republican. When in doubt, the far right's always after me. I'm sure it was one of Trump's MAGA supporters. I'm sure it was a right-wing magazine that came up with this. And I am totally shocked that you would ask me a question like this when I am on a liberal, Democrat-friendly network. How dare you bring this up and embarrass me? You caught me off guard. So she's adapting right about now. She's adapting right there, looking like the Joker. She's like, oh, crap. Come on, chameleon. Change colors quickly. Blame it on Mike Pence. However, look at this.
Yeah. Well, actually, the nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator.
I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass agreements. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes.
What is the solution for voters in the fossil fuel industry?
Giving the workers an ability to transition.
We're not going to treat people who are undocumented and cross borders criminals. That's correct.
Bad policies. Pew. I mean, bad policies. This ad is so damning. I mean, she can have California, have New York, have Seattle, Washington, but any states inside should be listening to these policies going, are you kidding me? Give me back Joe Biden. You listen to the stuff she's talking about, I'm going, was Joe that bad? I mean, you know what I'm saying? This woman is like, whatever the audience says they want, she's like, why not? Let's do it. Shoot. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to go ahead and get rid of all the police? Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm the chameleon. Next week, if you call me on it, I'll be like, no, man, we need to bring back the police.
Your hand if you think it should be a civil offense rather than a crime across the border without documentation.
Abolish ICE.
Yeah, is that a position you agree with?
We need to probably think about starting from scratch. Outdated, it is wrong-headed thinking to think that the only way you're going to get communities to be safe is to put more police officers on the street.
No, wait, wasn't she a prosecutor? But now all of a sudden, she's a weed-smoking hippie talking about, you know what, it's crazy to think the only way you're going to get crime down is put more police out there. I say we put social workers, there you go. Put, little flowers and bouquets out there on the streets for the gang members and tell them, hey, look, go give your friends a hug. Yeah, I'm sure they'll stop and read those and be like, we've been going about this all wrong. Instead of fighting and killing over colors, maybe we should go and embrace. That's what we should do. I'm sure that will work. Yeah, the former prosecutor is up here embellishing and toying around with the idea of, you know what, less police.
Would you support changing the dietary guidelines? Yes.
Whatever.
Reduce red meat specifically. Yes.
Yes, reduce red meat. Yeah, sure. And look, if it's popular, absolutely, because I'm the chameleon. If the wind is blowing towards getting rid of meat and making everybody eat bugs, I'm down with that, except for me. I'm not going to eat any bugs. I'm the chameleon, okay? I'm not dumb, okay? All right, you want to stop fracking? We need to get rid of fossil fuels. We need to get rid of cars with engines and stuff and go straight electric, but not me. The beast can't run really well on electricity. We don't want to break down or have to charge the beast if my life is in danger. And then, of course, if I become president and I'm flying around on Air Force One, I'm an important person. So you guys, I don't think you should leave a carbon footprint. But me, it's okay because I'm important. Oh, and by the way, racism and white nationalism and all that stuff all over the place. But not me because I got a white husband. He's the only one that's not racist. He's the one. Everybody else is racist. See?
Who are convicted in prison, like the Boston Marathon bombers, on death row, people who are convicted of sexual assault, they should be able to vote?
I think we should have that conversation. We have to have a buyback program, and I support it.
A buyback program.
So for people out there who like their insurance, well, they don't get to keep it?
Let's eliminate all of
Let's do that. You see the chameleon at work? Changing colors all over the set. I mean, you know what? I'm in front of a liberal audience. Why not? Let's do it. Shoot, I'm down with it. Hey, y'all want it? Y'all want it? Y'all want me to get rid of it? Yeah, let's do it. She is trash. This ad right here needs to run 24/7. I would buy up all the airtime on all the networks and play this over and over again on the reel.
Let's move on. I'm opposed to any policy that would deny any human being public health, period.
So for all you black folks and Latinos in the inner city, as you struggle with health care, look out. Move over, because the cackler is going to take care of all of these illegal immigrants with health care in your neighborhoods. There you go. Legal immigrants coming to a city near you.
The more people get to know her, they're going to be particularly impressed by her ability.
We did it, yo. There it is, yo. D to the E to the I. D-I. D-E-I. D to the E to the I. Oh, man, I want to finish this, yo. I got 4 minutes left. Let me try to slide, man. I just realized I have to get up super early tomorrow. I got to be to work at 5 in the morning, man. 5. Let me just, y'all gonna give me about 10 minutes? Y'all gonna give me about 10? They give me 10 minutes. He'll give me 10. Somebody egg me on. Say sick 'em, Kev. And I'm all over it. So let's go through these people now that have been given the assignment to protect the cackler from criticism of being DEI.
Well, I think she's one of the weakest candidates I've ever seen in the history of our country.
True.
I mean, intellectually, just really kind of the bottom of the barrel. And from the standpoint of just who she is and the policies, the positions that she's taken, her failure to do anything in terms of the border, that sort of thing, I think it's just a failure from top to bottom. I think she was a DEI hire, and I think that that's what we're seeing. And I just don't think that they have anybody else. I just think that they're in real disarray.
That is so true. Painful to listen to if you're a Democrat, especially if you're a race baiter, or even if you are Kamala. I wonder if she sees herself in that description. I wonder if she has an inflated ego of herself. Yeah, you know, some people be thinking you ain't talking about me, but yet every characteristic that they're describing describes you. I don't know what you're talking about. You ain't talking about me. Like my buddy who didn't realize he was the guy that this big muscle dude wanted to fight. He said, yeah, that's the dude I want right there. The one with the big mouth and the Florida State shirt on. And he's looking dead at my boy. And my boy is like, man, he ain't talking to me. He didn't realize it until he looked down and saw he's the one with the Florida State shirt. He ain't talking about me. Yeah, it's you. So I'm wondering if the chameleon doesn't realize that, yeah, I am the DEI hire. I do suck. Or does she think she really got the juice?
So she's already raised over 100 million.
Here we go.
And it's only like a day and a half. Yeah.
Rocks in the bush.
Yeah. But Republicans like Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett. Bucket? I don't know what it said. Burchett. Have been ramping up their attacks on why she's unfit to serve. Watch.
Their attacks? So wait. I want to hear this man give me the truth. Tell me your real opinion about her.
First off, he said he's going to hire a black female for vice president, and that he just skipped over. What about white females? What about any other group? Just when you go down that route, you take mediocrity, and that's what they have right now as a vice president.
It's painful words for the left, but you know what? Eat them. How you like those crayon apples?
Suggesting she was a DEI hire?
100%. She was a DEI hire.
Yeah, because that's a good thing, right? DEI is a good thing. Yeah, because they complain when folks say we need to get rid of DEI, they're not, no, you don't need to get rid of DEI because DEI is a good thing. Until we accuse one of their own of being a DEI hire. Now, isn't that bizarre?
Okay, so here I'm going to be respectful because you actually have a job. He never said that. He said he was thinking about a woman. He never said her color. He never said anything.
No. He didn't say I'm thinking about a woman. He said I am going to pick a woman. Going to, not think about. I saw black folks asking him, what are you going to do for vice president? I'm going to get a woman. That's right, a black woman.
If you're going to attack people, try to do it in a factual manner. I know
like
that
is
does. Almost insane for you to think about, but a fact really does make a difference.
Flashback.
What will you do to cultivate the next generation of leaders across the globe?
Number one, first let's start with my administration. My administration will look like America. I'm going to make sure that we bring in a new generation of leadership. From the vice president, I'm going to have a woman as vice president.
I'm going to have a woman as vice president. Not a qualified human. No, I'm going to have a woman. And now you got one. You got your black one. A woman that we just watched that is so unlikable and just not electable. And now y'all stuck with her. Because remember, that's what you wanted. I'm going to pick a woman and a black woman for the Supreme Court justice.
I'm going to put a black woman on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, one that doesn't even know what a woman is. How can you put a black woman on the Supreme Court who doesn't know what she is? I guess they picked me because I'm something. No, you're the black woman we're talking about. What's that? I'm not a biologist. I don't know who this woman you speak of is. I need to go ahead and go to a biologist to find out what I am. There you go. She's on the Supreme Court.
People won't attack you if you're accurate. They'll say you're wrong, but you're beyond wrong. You're trying to send a little message about the fact that she's a woman of color. We all see it.
Oh, wait, no, she's a colored woman. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to say that. Oh, it makes the big difference. She's a woman of color. I'm sorry. That's different. I mean, because if I say she's a colored woman, then that's racism. So now, she's a woman of color. I thought she was just, in y'all words, y'all call her black. I don't know if she's black. I don't know if she claims to be black. She's a chameleon. She's whatever she needs to be. But nonetheless, here's Whoopi defended her. See, I thought that DEI was a good thing.
We know what you're doing.
Why
Stop
are these
it.
white men so scared of the importance?
Because black women and women of color freak people out. I don't know why.
Such ignorance. Why do these white men, you would think Joy would go back to the blackface she was caught in. You would think she would be a sister. You think she is the color of Whoopi sitting next to her, as if she's not white. It kills me when I hear these folks talk about white men, except for liberal white men. Isn't that odd? Joe Biden doesn't get labeled as white men. All of the Democrat politicians, she doesn't talk about, why do these white men? She calls them by their name. But all of a sudden, if you're conservative, white men, they disgust me with that bull crap.
Organization. This is a right-wing campaign that's going to be racist, misogynistic against the vice president, but we're going to stand on the issues and what really matters. It's the fact that she is qualified. They want to call her a DEI president, DEI candidate. She has more experience than Trump and JD Vance combined.
Wait a minute, bruh. So, brother, number one, you should be saying they want to call her a DEI candidate, a DEI pick. Good. Because we support DEI. It's a good thing. We stand behind it. See, it's no different than when they call us MAGA Republicans, MAGA supporters. I'm going, yes, that's right. What do you need? That's me. I'm not ashamed. I'm not getting mad at you for calling me that. In fact, I appreciate it. I appreciate you calling me a MAGA Republican. That means I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right. I'm not shying away from the MAGA title. But when you hear DEI, which they all say, don't get rid of it. The white right wing and the white nationalists are trying to get rid of DEI. We need diversity, equity, and inclusion. Until you guys identify one of the people we stuck into a position solely because of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now all of a sudden, you can't call this person a DEI pick, which we claim is a good thing. because this is equal to the N-word.
Times a million, right? She worked at the state level. She was the attorney general. She's vice president of the United States. She was a senator representing one of the largest states in the entire.
And what has she done, brother? See, you're making our case for us. All of the things you are saying, she was this, she was that, she was that. I'm saying she was all of those for nothing.
Country. And so these are just racist dog whistles. Whenever you hear DEI, I want you to think
what?
About the N-word. I want you to think.
Y'all hear that? So this fool just went ahead and threw their whole DEI concept under the bus. So it goes from don't get rid of DEI. DEI is a good thing. And if you oppose DEI, you got to be a racist. Now, this man is double speaking and saying, if you think of DEI, think of the N-word. He doesn't even realize how dumb he sounds. He don't even realize the poop that he just stepped in. He took a guano drop right there and stepped in his own guano. So here he is. From now on, guys, when we think of DEI, think of the N-word. Whenever they get on TV talking about the Republicans want to get rid of DEI, I'm going to say, darn right. Because we're not on that N-word stuff. We want to get rid of the N-word. Less DEI, because every time I hear about it, I think of the N-word. That's how dumb this young man is. But because they're trying to protect Kamala's reputation and trying to justify why she deserves to be where she's at, he goes to the far extreme and says, if you think her as DEI, it's like calling her the N-word.
About racial slurs. That's what they actually mean.
Do you think Congressman Burchett is being a racist when he says that?
I have a good relationship with the congressman. I think sometimes, though, he does use rhetoric.
No. Now you want to backtrack. Sometimes I got a good relationship with him, but I just came out and said, this man, by using DEI, he might as well say the N-word. Then when he asked him, well, do you think he's a racist? No. I mean, most people who use the N-word aren't racist. I got a good relationship with him. Only sometimes when he uses it, he's racist. Not all the time, though. That shows this cat is full of caca, full of shite. And all he's doing is trying to protect Kamala Harris from being exposed.
Is racist. And whether people know it's racist or not, I'm here to tell them that is racist. And I hope they won't use that rhetoric.
So the word.
Yeah, until it's convenient. It's racist until we use it, until we defend it, until we say it's necessary. Other than that, if y'all use it, then all of a sudden it's racist. Tommy Lahren, would you make sense of this nonsense, please?
DEI, or the acronym DEI, has become almost like woke did a few years ago. It was so celebrated by the left, and now they're running away from it. I don't know why. You guys run away from your own words on the left. But listen, you can't tout somebody as the potential first female black president and then say, but Republicans aren't allowed to say that. And just as you articulated, Piers, this has been driving me nuts for days.
Me too.
There have been so many people that say on the left, you must vote for her if you're black. You got to vote for Kamala Harris because she's black. If you're a woman, you got to band together and vote for her because she's a woman. But then if Republicans say, oh, you're only voting for her because she's a black woman, then all of a sudden, how dare you? You're racist and you're sexist. You can't have it both ways. Democrats, liberals, leftists, you either celebrate DEI or we're not allowed to talk about DEI, but you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, this ain't Burger King. 1 minute you feel like a nut, next minute you don't.
So either you're excited about it or you're not. Pick a lane. Operation Coconut Tree is underway. God help you.
Well, because their policies and ideas are so stupid, when they go ahead and try to launch it and roll it out, common sense Americans and conservatives are able to pick it apart, point out its flaws, and come up with means and laugh about it and mock them. And because deep down inside, they know, yeah, it is kind of stupid. Yeah, most Americans ain't feeling this. So now all of a sudden, let's go ahead and try to shy away from this. When they come up with stuff about us, we own it. We're like, what? We're deplorables? Absolutely. We'll be that. We own it. And they go, it ain't fun no more because we thought we was going to shame them and stuff, but they like laughing and enjoying it and talking about now we're ultra MAGA and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's hard to really come after conservatives because we just laugh it off and own it. But when you call them out for their crap, they get offended. They get mad. Then on one end, they're talking about it's good to be woke. And then after a while, you know what? When you use woke, you're really, it's offensive. Well, you can't have it both ways. Same thing with DEI. Thank you, Tommy Lahren, for clearing that up.
It's the DEI hire part first, and then it's the record. But they can't help themselves but going at the race part of this.
Well, here we go. And see, this is going to be the disgusting part about having her, is because they're not going to allow her to defend herself as a strong woman, as a strong candidate. They're always going to try to bubble wrap her with identity politics. Any criticism, it's because she's a woman. Any criticism, it's because she's black. Any identification of DEI, it's because, you know what, you're using the N-word. How about you let her go toe-to-toe with her policies or her record? Oh, you can't do that? Because she has horrible policies and a raggedy record? So now all of a sudden, racism and DEI, and listen to Van Jones as we end.
Say something here. This is going to work out badly.
It's going to work out badly.
They worked very hard to attract black men into the Republican Party, and they were getting a little bit of momentum there. There were a lot of black men who were saying, "No, the Democrats don't do anything for us," and Biden's
they don't.
And they're starting to look over there at the Republican Party. You start insulting black women, you're going to see something you haven't seen before. Black men are not going to put up with that.
Okay. Now look, I'm not going to throw black men under the bus, but growing up as a black man, I mean, you know, it's kind of like when Trump and that Hollywood Access tape came out, and some of my old college buddies was like, "Man, I can't believe this dude said that, man. That was offensive, man. I got daughters." And I'm saying, you act like I don't know you. You act like we didn't play football together and we weren't in the locker room. And some of the things I heard you saying about the folks and the women and stuff like that would put Donald Trump's little comments to shame. Now all of a sudden you grow a conscience. So I've heard a lot of men, not just black men, a lot of men, whether it's jokingly or seriously. But now all of a sudden he's like that woman, a black woman. Now, first of all, nobody's coming to Chameleon's rescue. If you've already made up your mind as a black man to walk away from the Democrat Party who do not support or encourage strong black men, leaders, you're not going to go ahead and go, well, now I got a female black liberal who's going to change my mind simply because they're criticizing her and trying to shame me into voting for her simply because she's a black woman. If you are a black man and you're that weak-minded, we don't need you. If you sit back and go, oh, what, they criticize her because she got a raggedy record and she doesn't deserve to be in office, oh, well, I'm going back and support her and get horrible results, then you were never sold out in the first place. You never made up your mind in the first place. If you're that weak-minded, like Van Jones.
I want to send a warning, as clear as I can. I was on a phone call with 20,000 black men. The word protect came up about 1,000 times. Protect this sister.
What kind of phone call did you make with 20,000 people on it?
Protect this sister. We're going to protect her. Protect her. You're about to see something you haven't seen before.
Yeah. You're going to see that not all these black people are going to jump on board just because she's a woman of color. That's what you're going to see. And you're also going to see, which I've been watching and going over a lot of clips, where black women are saying, man, we don't fool with Kamala Harris. She ain't a real sister. She's a sister when she needs to be one. Show up, hey girl, you know, I'm out here in these streets, get the, you know me, Wakanda forever, baby. You know, I'll smoke a little weed sometime, you know. Yeah, woo, I'll be getting zooted, baby. Really? Yeah, you know me. Okay. Yeah, did you listen to music back then? Yeah, like what? Rap music? You know me, baby. All kind of rap music. Like who? Huh? Come on, Chameleon. Think of someone who's famous. Snoop Dogg and Tupac. Yeah, that one. That's Snoop Dogg and Tupac, baby. Really? Yeah, they weren't even out during that time. Are you pandering towards us? Huh? Absolutely. She might as well be Hillary Clinton. Hot sauce in the purse. So, if you got folks who's going to go vote for that mess, go right ahead.
Look, people messed around with Hillary Clinton and said a bunch of mean stuff to her. Black men set that out. We won't set this out.
I did say zooted.
I don't think that the Republican Party understands that all the work that they did trying to get us over there, two more days of this, it's going to be a problem.
Just shut the f*** up.
Tell us the best.
Just shut the f*** up.
I'm going to allow it. So now, as we close, guys, here's
Let's
the
take a look
polls.
here just first at the favorable views of Donald Trump. We know that Donald Trump has historically been unpopular. But take a look now. After the Republican National Convention, in the ABC News Ipsos
Is this
poll, he
CNN?
recorded his highest ever favorable rating at 40%. That's not a one-off. Take a look at the Quinnipiac University poll, 46%. That's the highest ever in that poll.
Oh, well, look at this.
The fact is, Donald Trump is more popular now than he ever has been before. So yes, Democrats can make this switcheroo, but they're still going to have to beat Donald Trump, a Donald Trump who is stronger, Sarah, than he has ever been before.
It will be interesting to see how voters respond to all of this. Now, how is he doing relative to Harris, who did run at one point? What do those numbers look like?
Yeah, let's see what all the effort have gained them. All of the gaslighting, all of the praises, all of the running cover, all of the bubble wrapping, all of the accusing folks of being racist, all of the trying to recreate her success and accomplishments. And of course, don't forget now, she's supposed to be some new hip fad that all of the young people like. All the young people like. Let's see what it's gained her.
So let's take a look here, right? We've been focusing so much on how Harris was doing better than Biden in the polling, and that's true. If we take a look at the national average, what do we see? We see Donald Trump up by 1. That's a within the margin race, right? That's a close race. But remember, of course, in the national popular vote, Democrats tend to do better there than they've done in the Electoral College, at least when Donald Trump has been running for president. So last time around, when Joe Biden barely won in the Electoral College, he actually won the national popular vote by 4 points. So at this point, Donald Trump is running 5 points better. That's a 5 of some sort. 5 points better than he was 4 years ago against Joe Biden. So at this particular point, whether you look at the favorable ratings, whether you look at the horse race polling, we see that Donald Trump is doing significantly better than he was doing 4 years ago at this point. Kamala Harris is going to have to do better than this, of course, if she wants to win the popular vote, but more than that if she wants to win the Electoral College, where she'll likely have to outperform how she's done nationally, because the fact is, if you got to tie it in the national popular vote, that is probably not good enough if you're Kamala Harris and you want to win the election against Donald Trump.
It all comes to this moment. Trump is inevitable. That's what it comes down to. I am inevitable. He's coming, man. Yeah. I mean, y'all shot the man in the face. And he's still like, you tell him I'm coming. And hell's coming with me. You hear me? Hell's coming with me.
Blame for
So let's hear what
President
the people have to say.
Biden being in office in this condition. Who deserves the blame?
Yeah, who deserves the blame?
His close staff. They work with him every day.
So I think that's what also makes me nervous about the Vice President Harris.
Vice President Harris?
Talk about that a bit.
So yes, she's going to be in it, but she also helped keep him in where he's at right now. And if he really is as bad as what they've been saying, I think if he steps down as president and she steps into the presidency before the end of his term, it almost makes me question a little bit more why it didn't happen sooner. She's worked with him. She's been, to my understanding, with him daily, or at least a couple of days a week. Why hasn't this been brought to her attention if she's willing to hide that type of information once she's in office? Now what she's willing to hide for herself.
Good point. That's why I love conservative minds. That's why I love them. See how she worked through that equation rationally, common sense, putting it together. It's obvious that the cackler is a deceiver. She was in on all of that cover up, and now she's all the way up in the front taking advantage of it. Just like that. She ain't mentioning anything about how you overlooked that. She's like, well, it's my big chance. It's my big shot. Smart people put these things together.
And so I think that makes me a little bit uneasy, not necessarily that I wouldn't vote for her for it, but it definitely opens that questioning of why now? Why are you now being okay with exposing Biden's health concerns? Is it because it benefits you, or kind of what that line?
Because she's a chameleon. This is the same woman who called him a segregationist and said she believes that he assaulted these women. And then was up there talking about, we did it, y'all. We did it. Now, you don't think that's the same woman that won't push that man down a flight of steps for power?
Yeah, is it a power grabber?
Does anyone agree with Alyssa's point that it calls into the vice president's judgment?
I do.
That she has been around while Biden's health has deteriorated.
100% agree. But it also seems that that's kind of how she carries herself. She kind of does what in the moment she needs to do to continue to move forward and move up.
She does what she has to do in the moment to move forward and move up. So in other words, she's a chameleon. And then last but not least, listen to these smart women.
Perceive Vice President Harris compared to President Biden in terms of competency and experience?
Tell us, ladies.
I think she's worse. She doesn't even know what's going on at the border.
Is there anyone that Kamala Harris could appoint as her vice president that you would find reassuring?
Change my
would make
mind?
you consider voting for her?
No. I would know RFK Jr. way before that. Yeah, absolutely.
When do you think America will have a female president?
When they put up a black one that, of course, for the culture wars, and the one that's an AKA, and the one that that's what's going to change everybody, right? That's when we're ready for one. Not one that is competent, not a Carrie Lake, somebody like that. Yeah, not one of those. Yeah, she's not black. She's not in a sorority that I know of and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We want one that, you know what? You'll feel good about talking about her at the water cooler because she's black and she's a woman of color and stuff like that. So let's see what these ladies have to say.
When there's a competent one, I don't think a good feel for her.
I think she's an idiot.
Right.
Why do you think that she's not that bright?
Because she hasn't done anything in the time that she's had. We don't know anything about her as far as her 3 years so far in the White House. She's not real smart.
Oh my God.
Trump's been right about everything.
Yes, you have, Trump.
And if you think about it, I really have.
You sure have, Trump. So there you have it, ladies and gents. A complete, thorough breakdown of the diabolical scheme to reinvent Kamala Harris, try to make her marketable, and a breakdown of all of the angles that they're trying to take to wrap her in all this glory, trying to protect her from criticism, but it ain't working. It's not working. I think the polls are going to sort its way out in a few weeks or so. They're trying to make it seem like it's getting close and all that stuff, but let's be real. I think the people have spoken. When you see regular, everyday, common folks, you're not going to get these people who at one point looked at her as the least popular vice president of all time. At one point, I think even her poll numbers were like negative for a second. All of a sudden now, they're just going to start looking at her like, oh, she's an angel. Maybe I saw her all wrong. Now, you do have people that just like they once looked at Trump and praised him and loved Trump and supported him. And then you get the media was able to reinvent Trump into a villain. And people never stopped to realize that I didn't come to these conclusions on my own. They basically downloaded this information into my head. You're going to get a certain group of people who might fall for that. But on an average, if you think she sucked at one point, you're still going to think she sucks now. I don't care if they put lipstick all over that pig. Now watch this. He called her a pig. I thought, you know what? That's a misogynist and all, and I'm going to say whatever. You know the analogy. You know what I meant. You got to liberal proof your statements and qualify them because you know how they are. They act like they don't have common sense. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me a little longer. 2 hours and 22 minutes, but I had to finish it. It was greater than me. It was greater than me. Kevin's Corner, better than anything on my TV. Yes! That's what I'm talking about, man. Thank you so much, all of those wonderful comments, all the support you guys give me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like videos, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms and all of that stuff. And if you want to, drop a couple nickels in my Cash App or PayPal, you can do that too. And you also can go and check out Kevin's Corner store. And finally, please subscribe to my alternative channel and follow me on all the other social media platforms just in case they get mad at me because they don't like the hurtful things I say about Kamala Harris and others. So the number, MAGA, text your number to this one and I'll lock you in and we'll go from there. So let's get out of here because I got to be back here tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Same time, same place. I know you see the goals. I know you see the apes. I know you see the wear and tear up the place. God bless. Take care.